What is up, guys? CGDannyB back, and welcome back to Pokemon. Gotta watch them all. We are on the second episode, and today we are talking about Pokemon 2000. I am here with the crew, Dante, Chris, and Princeton. We are going to be going in and talking about Pokemon 2000. If you missed last week's, we did Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. You okay over there?
I'm doing the email.
I can see. He's not even in this movie.
I know.
So I'm excited to get to
dominance.
I Choose You because he plays a big role. But we got like 10 years for that.
My boy.
Yeah.
My boy.
That's right. Today we are looking at the second Pokemon movie, Pokemon 2000, The Power of One. Now, we mentioned last week, this is Chris and I's favorite movie currently. And to counteract that, it is John's, it's your least favorite, yes?
No. My least favorite is the Mewtwo and Genesect movie.
Okay.
This is second.
Okay.
But
second least favorite. Okay.
But I don't hate it. Like, I'll watch it.
Bitch, on the way over here, he's like, yo, I fucking hate that movie.
No. I meant, like, out of all movies, if you give them to me and you're like, hey, you can watch all these, I won't watch this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Let's see. I think, last time we ranked Mewtwo Strikes Back at number one because, it's the only one we had. So after we go through the synopsis today and talk about this movie, we'll decide if it's better or worse than Mewtwo Strikes Back. And then, of course, we have the fun poll, which, again, if you guys remember, last episode we said you'll get it every 2 episodes based on the way we're recording. So you'll see the results for the first and second polls in episode 3, and then 3 and 4 in 5, and so on and so forth subsequently. So make sure you're following my Twitter for those polls. But first thoughts. How do we like Pokemon 2000?
So one thing I do like about this movie,
here we go.
No, I don't want to be negative. So I'm saying things that I like. I'm starting with the good stuff before I shred this thing like a fucking chicken.
Okay.
The music in here was actually really good.
Oh my god, it's my favorite.
Yeah, the music in here was better than Gen 1. It was better than the first movie because they knew how to set the tone. They're not dealing with a darker tone like with Mewtwo.
Yeah.
They have a whole film now that they can say, all right, happy music here, adventure music here, and like really fucking dark music over here.
Yeah.
And I think the music in this one was way better. Rewatching this, knowing how much I fucking hate this movie, the music made it a lot easier. I was like, oh shit, okay. Like right from the beginning, they hit you with like, music, and it's pretty neat.
Okay. Well, hey, that's the most positive it's gonna get, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, there's one more positive, but I'm gonna wait until we get to it.
Cool.
In my opinion, like when we went back and watched the first movie, I was really interesting. I had the idea. I was like, wow, it's really interesting to have a new take on this. This movie has not fared as well. I will preface that. I don't hate this movie.
Yeah.
I think I was a lot more excited to watch this movie as a kid, and then as an adult, I'm just kind of like, huh. It didn't have the same impact.
Interesting.
It didn't have the same impact.
That's
Even with some nostalgia there, because I love Lugia.
Yeah, 100%.
Lugia is the one that I would pick out of the 2 birds.
Yeah.
And it was awesome to see that it had a movie. But yeah, going back to this movie, I'm just kind of like, oh wow, it didn't quite hit it as well.
Wow.
This is also the first Gen 2 movie, which I feel like is kind of important to bring up.
Which is also like a weird spot because it's technically a Gen 2 movie with like 2 Gen 2 Pokemon because it's Orange Island, so we won't really get there. Because that would technically be 3 is our first real Johto, but same difference. Chris, tell me you like the movie.
So like just rewatching like Ash's like adventure going to like all the islands, it felt fun.
Okay.
In I remember like as a kid, like I thought it was like the hypest thing ever, seeing how like he got to like how like he handled like seeing like the birds, and I'm like, oh, I caught that Articuno, I caught that Zapdos. And like just seeing things like that, like it was like just really neat to just see, and because I watched this one with my niece, she absolutely loved it. Lugia was her favorite part of the whole thing.
Okay.
But yeah, no, she loved it just as much as I did. So it's nice to see like that sense of kind of like amazement.
We're gonna have to keep note of that as you watch these with her, and she's like, I love this one, and be like, see which one she's like, I'm not paying attention. She's playing something else. She'd rather play on the Switch, and just kind of be like, what's a kid think right now? What's a kid think of this movie?
I will have
keep that in check.
The very first time she saw Lugia, she got hyped for it, and she was like, "That's my favorite." Like,
I get it.
The music, the way that like it builds up to it,
right? Because like it was Articuno. But then, because she loved like watching Articuno use Ice Beam, but then the second Lugia pot, like all bets were off. It was all about Lugia.
That's amazing. So going to this one, I don't have any financial stuff like that for this one. I didn't take the time to look. I don't think it was that relevant. But let's just get into the plot. So we open up in the middle of the ocean with that majestic ass fucking Lugia's theme. I fucking love this song so damn much.
It sounds like something out of Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
That theme, like
yeah.
if you grab one of the elder gods and you put this theme into it, you're gonna go like, oh shit, what's going on?
I see it.
Also, I want to take a moment to rage for a second.
Oh no, okay.
Oh boy.
So, not anything bad about the movie per se. It's just okay. So you're telling me Lugia makes whale noises? It is not a water type.
So he's actually never. I was gonna say this for later, but
Yeah.
they never tell you Lugia's type in this movie.
Did you not? Which was why, because like I was thinking about it until like we started doing Soul Link. Like I knew he wasn't a water type, but it really hit when I was like, he's a psychic flying type.
Well, it's because his gimmick is water. Like his gimmick is that he swims.
He's the beast of the sea, but like not like with the way that the plot goes.
Which let me tell you how fucked up I was as a kid. Because like my whole I water types were like my favorite. If there's one trainer I would have been as a kid, it would have been water.
Yeah.
How fucked up I was that when I caught Lugia, I was like, it's not water.
Go away.
It's psychic flying.
Yeah, it's so.
I like Go now.
I think that it's even more confusing with his move like Aeroblast because that's a combination of water and wind. So if they ever redo the move, they can do the flying press thing where like it's both. Yeah. And it can, but yeah, like. They never tell you it's typing throughout the whole movie. You're just kind of like left there to kind of like
to assume
like okay. I thought that was very interesting because it's kind of weird to have a Pokemon because with Mewtwo it's like he's psychic like right away.
Clearly, yeah.
But with Lugia it was like oh god.
Because I don't think Lugia does anything to suggest.
Because there's one. Because I was gonna bring it up. It happens later. Because we'll cross the bridge when we get to it. But it's. When Lugia is interacting with the three other birds, there's something he does that does that.
Like I understand the psychic typing. It's just I feel you still could have gave this Pokemon psychic type moves. I think water just fits it better.
So I think the problem here is that they.
But we might be getting off topic.
Yeah, the movie.
I just wanted to rage about that.
Just want to talk about Lugia.
After the success of having Mewtwo being a psychic type, I think that for plot conveniences, they're like, let's just make him a psychic type.
Yeah.
Which ultimately, I mean, Lugia is a really strong Pokemon, and when you're comparing it to Ho-Ho, Eric, I think we all pick Lugia. Did anybody pick Ho-Ho?
No.
When they play the game, or did you just go
Silver all the way?
I did because everybody else is going Lugia. I was like, I'm not gonna do that.
Gen 2 is my favorite gen. The unfortunate thing is, I, for some reason, thought it was a good idea as a young impressionable child to trade my silver copy away, and then eventually I got gold. So I owned both. I did actually own both copies, but Lugia is my favorite.
Okay,
great.
This.
So the movie starts, we have the beautiful, majestic whale noises and the music in the background, and we hear the monologue of Slowking. Well, sorry, spoilers. The monologue of some deep-voiced man. Give us basically the simple plot of the movie. Disturb not the harmony of fire, ice, or lightning, lest these titans wreak destruction upon the world in which they clash. Though the water's great guardian shall arise to quell the fighting, alone its song will fail. Thus the world shall turn to ash, which double meaning. We'll get there then, but yeah, I love. This is almost as I don't think it hits as hard as Mewtwo's thing. That's more of like a life thing, as opposed to this is like a storytelling element.
Yeah, when it's to the world will turn to ash. I was like, that's a little on the nose.
Yeah,
But,
especially as a kid when you say the word ash, it's like, oh, the character, yeah.
So there's two things right here. One is a positive, and I had two negatives.
Okay.
I think they went too hard with the plot for this.
Okay.
I think the plot for this went way too hard. Like with Mewtwo, it was like collected in an area, and it was implied that it can go further.
Okay.
But with here, it's like right away you're hit like, holy shit, the whole world.
The thing, yeah.
Two, I hate movies when the prophecy's so vague. Like,
okay.
They're like, a guy with a hat's gonna walk in and save the world. The main character has a hat, walks in, and I hated the Ash thing.
Yeah.
That didn't vibe with me. I was like, now when I watched it the first time as a little kid, I was like, oh yeah, like you said, you're like,
Ash.
oh Ash.
Yeah.
But as I got older, when I was in high school and I rewatched that movie, I was like, really?
Ash, yeah.
That's so basic. But and the positive is, as a kid though, I didn't care.
Sure.
So like, I want to put that out there. Like, as a kid, I didn't grasp it. Like how cliche that was. It wasn't until I was a teenager and I was like, that's kind of lame. Like,
I agree with that. I don't think I grasp it quite as well as I did as a kid in terms of like how on the nose it is. From what I remember, because I remember people talking about this movie, this particular quote is completely different in Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
not only that, but the prophecy kind of foreshadows the whole movie.
Yeah.
If you read the prophecy, again, if you're older and you're reading the prophecy, you're like, oh yeah, like
Here's what happens.
It basically tells you what's gonna happen. When you're a kid, like I was when I watched it, I didn't fucking know. So it's weird. It has such a name.
Words like thus and less, like I don't know what those are.
That's
Show me
what
Pokemon.
Because one of like the only things that I don't like is when they talk about prophecies, because then that's like, because then you know for like any interaction between people, that's the only dialogue getting brought up. And because everybody's like, well, the prophecy said this, well, the prophecy said that, prophecy.
Yeah.
Like, they keep harping on about it so hard that it's like, can we just get to like the rest, because they're
keep
kind
going
of
negative.
it.
Keep going.
Damn. Y'all trying to place me out this movie? Okay.
So I will say this, and this is not with the movie, but I wrote, why do prophecy have to be so vague as well? If the apocalypse was to happen, you'll think the instructions
would be
a lot more clear. Like, hey, there's a 10-year-old named Ash. He's gonna come with a Pikachu. He wears like a denim jacket. He has Misty. There's gonna be a girl named Misty, red hair. You would think that these prophecies will be a lot more specific, especially because it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
But that has nothing to do with the movie. I just bringing that up.
Right.
Sure.
Which there's another point of the prophecy that I'll bring up later. Is when we cross that bridge, we'll get to it.
Cool. Here we introduce to our villain in the movie, Lawrence III, who I think arguably is like the best movie villain, better than Thanos, I think.
Shut the fuck up. Also, he's never named in the movie.
He is not. Yeah, again, a just like the
I
three
thought
trainers in the other
about
one.
that. My Sophie asked me what the guy's name was, and I was like, I don't remember.
I knew it from Cerebi, and that's one of those things. I'm like, how did they, where did they get the info? Because obviously the movie doesn't.
They just made something up.
Spoiler,
Like,
spoiler alert, you don't need to know who he is.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
It's because of the voice acting. They have to give the character.
Sure.
They can't just say like
Can't just say
Bibbidi
guy.
Bop and
Yeah.
Well, technically, no. You can be guy 1, guy 2.
Well,
That's
yeah, that's
But
true.
if you're a prominent figure in the movie, you
Should
need
have
to
it. But yeah, at this point we're introduced to him. He's a collector, and he's like, I like to collect. He doesn't specify. He just likes to collect shit. He's like, I like to collect things. We're introduced to this Mew card, which he has. It's the first time. He's like, this is the first thing in my collection. And from here, it's grown. And now he's like, I'm going to collect Pokemon, but not the normal way. So he's got these cage devices that he launches out of his super strange, weird airplane
Ferris
helicopter.
wheel on his side.
Yeah.
When I was a kid and I first saw that, just like the way they animated that to show the scope of it,
It's intricate.
I thought it was like impressive as
Yeah.
anything. Like even while I'm like, that animation felt so far ahead of its time.
It's great.
I agree with you. When I was a kid, I was totally enamored by that, like that set piece, and I also was really involved with his like little chessboard he had. And I was like, yeah, that's really, really cool.
That was like the coolest
Also, that
thing.
whole thing was being held up by propellers that were going like this speed.
Yeah.
Although nowadays
They're big.
I look at that thing and I'm like, that thing looks fucking stupid.
So are we talking the chessboard or the ship?
No, the ship. The
Okay.
chessboard, I'm still kind of
Okay.
like, that's
Dude,
still kind of
the chessboard is like one of the
the
coolest
ship's just like
centerpieces.
it's too complicated. Like, what the fuck is going on with it?
So I still like the design of it. I'm like, functionally, I don't think that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But
Also,
it's going through. It's
get-
like, why does it exist the way that it does? Like, I feel like it's too much detail for something that is maybe on the screen 5 minutes.
Because
total
like,
throughout.
I feel like they did that intentionally though, to be like, yes, this is the antagonist that's going to be moving against everything.
Yeah.
Because there's like just seeing like the way it was designed and then seeing like the way it was on the inside, like it really felt like everything pointed towards this is the guy you need to worry about.
Yeah.
Also, the Pokemon thing, Pokemon trainers do that already.
Yeah.
We like, as trainers, you collect Pokemon.
Yeah.
So like, I get he went a little extreme, but like, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So, like, I get that he's a collector, right? Are we under the impression that this guy, like, shows off like he has like a museum of some sort. Who is funding this?
he got the money somewhere.
No. He got, so in the Japanese to tell you,
Okay.
he sold one of his mute cards.
Okay.
He had
So there were multiple mute cards.
Yeah, and he sold it to be able to make the money that he got a fortune. Apparently these cards were rare. That's only if you watch the Japanese version of the
Interesting.
movie. They tell you when he's giving the explanation of the card,
Okay.
the mute card. So all
I
his
don't
money,
care how
all his
expensive
money comes.
that mute card is. He's got technology that doesn't exist yet. Like,
Homie got a smartwatch and a fucking like Beats pill somewhere in there. Like, I have it.
Because it's funny, because like I've always been under the interpretation that he was going to use that as like a mobile like museum, so he could go across and show off his collection, things like that.
yeah, I was under the impression he had a museum, but like he never brings it up. So like, it's just very.
Yeah,
odd.
I mean, it's a fair question because again, like he's just like a character that's like, hey, I'm here because plot. Like if plot did not demand, I would not. Like, there's no purpose to me being here outside of what I want. So I totally get that. We do not know enough about him.
Yeah.
I think it's more of one of those things where, because let's keep in mind that this was created for a smaller audience. So like none of us thought about this when we were younger. So like now that we're rewatching, like, yo, what those guys keeping all this shit at? You know what I mean? But I think at the time, like, and that's the beauty about like, I guess working on a like not a kids show, but like a show that's geared towards kids is you can get rid of all these plot holes that you're like. They don't fuck them.
Don't
Kids. They don't need to know this shit.
It's not gonna be 2020 with a bunch of fucking 20-somethings sitting around a table talking about our movie. But yeah, let me catch up here. So yeah, Lawrence is like my next collection, the 3 birds, so I can get the ultimate prize, the Beast of the Sea, which
Well, it's he said Titans,
yes, the Titans,
which is very obvious. They didn't go out of they didn't sugarcoat this. If you were a kid and you didn't know he was talking about the legendary birds, something's wrong because they made it very obvious that it was the legendary bird.
Yeah, I guess since the Titan Pokemon didn't exist yet.
Yeah, I was just about to say for any new players that go back to watch these movies, they're gonna think the whole time they're talking about Reggies, minus all the explosions and heartbreaks. But they're gonna think because the legendary Titans, and then they're gonna see that they're gonna be like, but that's
not what that means.
There's not easy.
Regieleki doesn't exist yet. There isn't a fire titan. Hang on.
Something ain't right.
Yeah, homeboy, he's like, cool, I got this cage. Hey, Moltres, come here. Electrocutes it, captures it, puts it in a hole. Title card.
Which I still think
that's the whole the ice, the fire island.
Yeah.
Gets frozen to capture a fire type.
It's a little mixed up.
It's made of fire.
I think it was more so just to like. My general idea with that was that he was using another bird's power to piss.
So like, it's hey, it's Articuno stepping on your territory.
Exactly.
Oh, Articuno turned into a big Ferris wheel. Let's go.
Well, I know, like
it's
this whole
mega
movie.
evolution.
This whole movie, ice is worthless unless you're going against fire type.
Basically.
Because that like the way they use a lot of ice in this movie, but it never works.
It gets broken and someone falls through it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a very smart thing to start with Moltres because out of the 3, I really feel like Moltres is like the least hype one because I've never once heard somebody say minus the Galarian variants, somebody say Moltres was their favorite. I only ever hear Zapdos or Articuno.
That's
I never hear Moltres, so I feel like right there it was smart because they're like, let's take the one that no one's gonna be really hyped
the less
for,
marketable one,
and let's just include the other 2 later.
I think because it's hard to work with fire. It's like, well, electricity, you do the sound of
works with Charizard,
right?
And with the ice, you can make everything blue. But then you have like fire. How many fire types have we seen? We have one in the team, in Ash's team. So it's like we're just gonna do the same thing that this one can do.
Yeah.
So, but with Zapdos, even though Ash has Pikachu, when Zapdos flaps his wings, you see the little area of effect.
Yeah.
And I think that's why like the other 2 are easier to work with than the chicken bird or the
chicken
fire bird.
Plus, like, I feel like it kind of helps with like a scaling part of the movie, but.
So yeah, now we cut to our heroes, Ash, Misty, and Brock. Wait a second, this isn't Brock. This is that fucking Tracy kid.
Fuck Tracy!
Do you guys know what the switch happened?
What's that?
Why?
Like the character?
Because they thought Tracy was going to be more appealing over here, right?
No.
Okay.
So they thought that Brock.
I'm just riding
So because of
in
Brock's
this.
dark skin, they removed Brock because they thought that like the audience will find it like offensive to have Brock, which I feel like that's the opposite because you're being like, what's it called?
Segregative.
No, I forgot the word I'm looking for. But essentially, they thought that having a
purely white cast would be ideal.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. So they basically remove Brock and then put Tracy. Well, the people hated Tracy. And
I remember I didn't hate Tracy, but I was like, you know,
I didn't.
Brock hit different. Tracy felt like he was just there.
See, because it really annoyed me because like he was like, correct me if I'm wrong, because again like Gen 1 like that's where like I stopped because like I moved up here and whatever. But there's like the whole thing where Tracy's thing was he was an artist and he just wanted to draw.
Sketch.
Yep.
Like
sketch
like
Pokemon.
his whole thing was I don't want to battle, I just want to sketch and build bonds.
Which you don't really see in this.
Well,
The
his
movie
whole
doesn't
game is that he
show
does
it
the sketches and then he sends them to Professor Oak
Okay.
to help with research.
Which is his like generic. This is my Pokédex, and this is how I.
But the way he did it wasn't like, oh, here's a Squirtle. He'll wait and since the Squirtle did something that was natural to Squirtle, or it's
Right.
like eating or swimming, and then he'll draw that scene.
Yeah.
The problem is that the anime, like, people like Brock more, and like a lot of people complain, and like Tracy's just running like, hey guys, I gotta go.
Yeah.
And like Brock just comes back to the story like nothing
Right.
ever happened.
Mhm.
So that's why he was removed from the story. It was a bad move from them, in my opinion, because I think that Brock is very iconic, and I think he's one of like he is Team Ash. So.
And like I definitely think it was like definitely like beneficial because like it felt nice having Ash who really just kind of just W keyed and it was just like yeah no I don't care go type advantage. What is that? It was nice having two gym leaders with them so that way they could help explain things to the younger audience as to like why that's not necessarily a good idea, but because anime Ash has to
Make it work.
Also, Tracy had two badass Pokemon that he never used. He had Scyther and Meryl.
Yeah.
And then Venonat. That's not cool.
Rock that Venonat. Also, I just want to point out, like, the old man Scyther that Tracy's got with, like, the scruff and shit.
I noticed
forget
that, too.
There's, like, a plot to it, or he just, like, if he literally just has an old Scyther, but I fucking love it.
And
And then when he, like, saves the Venonat from the storm by, like, not, but, like, oh, I got you, buddy. Like, yeah.
Yep.
It was cool. But yeah, the team's like, hey, we're sailing to somewhere in the Orange Islands. We might as well let our Pokemon out. And then we get that badass remix of the Pokemon World theme, which I fucking love.
Best
It's
part of the
amazing. It's the only redeemable part of the film. No, I love it, and it's one of those ones I always forget exists until it plays. I'm like, oh. And then we have like Lapras is like the highlight for me in that. Like,
Yeah.
it's so happy, and like it starts flapping, and then it's like, yay! It's like I'm like, I love it.
Don't get used to it. That's the only time it appears.
Yeah, basically. Unfortunately, sadly, even though we had to swim across so much water, why bring the Lapras?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the storm kicks up. Our team's like, what's going on? We got to get to the island. They get knocked off course and end up on a separate island called, I wrote it down, it's fucking... Shamoody Island, thank you very much. So they're getting set off course. Marin, their pilot, who I would... Okay, yep, she's... There's like Byleth, and then there's like Marin. Oh, Marin's something, dude. I get it. I feel something there. But yeah, and then in there's a fun little joke. Team Rocket's following them, gets hit by a rock, and Jesse makes a joke about having carp insurance because they have their little submarine. I thought it was fucking funny. I like that joke. But let's see. We get after they're in this little cacophonous issue of getting slammed around by the storm, we get a cut to Ash's house where Mom and Professor Oak are kind of hanging out like, hey, what's going on? And the storm comes in. Obviously, he was showing up for like his weekly bang session. Like, that's what was about to happen.
Mine.
But this is where we start to see like all the Pokemon. Well, leading into this, we see Pikachu having his own little like single Titanic moment on the front of the boat, just like pissed off about something. Like we don't know. He's just like staring off angrily.
Pikachu woke up and decided to hate that day.
So there's the thing that what I got from that is that Pikachu's aware of the changes to the climate.
Yep.
Because of Moltres, which I'm like,
Or Zapdos, or
yeah, it was one of them, and I was like, how does he know that and no other
Yeah.
Pokemon? Like, what special ability, skill?
I'm assuming it's just the main Pokemon figures
Also,
out first.
I did look up. Lapras was used in every single episode of the Orange Islands.
Yeah,
Every single episode to travel.
it makes sense. They sail
But
on
now they're like, oh, we need a boat.
who needs that? We got a boat and a piece of metal. Like, what?
Fuck my talking Lapras.
Because Professor Oak was on his bike, right? And
Yes.
Because
Which got stolen by Diglett.
and then like it was just them being like, what's wrong with all the Pokemon? Because like you see like all like the Pidgeot,
Everybody
like, their
freaking
whole
out,
family,
flying
and
away.
like them like they're all like flying like the same thing. The Diglets are going the same way, and they're just like, what? I just want to know why Mr. Mime just didn't go, yeah, no. fuck this, I'm not
Okay.
being here right now. Because you're like every Pokemon. That Mr. Mime didn't give a fuck
I'm
about what's
assuming,
going on.
I'm assuming it became a wild Pokemon thing. Because obviously Mr. Mime freaked out, grabbed the umbrella, was like, I'm worried. But I assume it became more of a, I'm a tamed Pokemon, so I'm not going anywhere.
He was domesticated.
Yeah, but all these wild Pokemon have somewhere to be. They have something they need to do
Right.
to save their world, and I guess that was just kind of the way I looked at it.
This is the movie where we talked about it in the car. The first time they ever announced that Ash's mom has a name, which is
Yep.
Dahlia, and then
Yeah,
his name was
Samuel. I have it
Samson.
much later on.
Was it
I forget
Samson or
exactly.
Samuel,
Okay.
because Samson's
Yeah.
his brother, right?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Either way, yeah, we meet. We get Ivy's name, Oak's name, and Ash's mom's name for the first
I
time.
completely forgot about Ivy, by the way.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna bring that
And
up.
TCR,
since-
she's so fucking hot.
So I was just like,
Which one?
wait a minute, we've had
Professor Ivy, the purple hair.
we've
Oh,
had
yeah.
we'd had a female professor all this time
Yeah.
before Juniper. Like,
That's fine, but she ain't no Juniper though, so.
That's yeah.
She is not
Well,
Juniper.
She ain't no
Okay.
Cynthia anyway, so.
yeah, fair. She's not a professor.
Yeah, she's fine.
She is though.
She can teach me.
A little cut off on my shit here.
You
Anyway,
want to catch
So we cut back to the
Yeah.
islands. I think is where we were roughly.
yeah, come back to the island. Hey, our teams land. They're safe. We're good. Oh my god. And a bunch of tribal people with some bird mash are like, hey, what's going on here? And they're like, I think we're gonna die. Oh, but no, you're a Pokemon trainer. Amazing. We're just getting ready to start our traditional annual ceremony of the three titans that we need our hero to save, and it's all just a legend. It's a fun thing that we do to celebrate, not knowing it's about to become some real shit.
Right.
But
By the way, quick aside on this.
Yeah.
There is a chieftain. The chieftain. I was like,
Yeah.
that's Danny's outfit. 'Cause it's all blue. And I'm like, that's Danny's outfit.
I thought it was pretty. I didn't even know. I'm like, I'd rock that. I'd do it. I'd be
Which I just love how it's like, I'm Ash, I'm a Pokemon shirt. That derailed everything
Pokemon
that was
shirt.
about to happen. They're like, you, yes!
So yeah, we are introduced to Melody. So we have the one girl. I don't know if they gave us a name, but she's typically the island princess for the ceremony. But she's getting too old, so now her little sister Melody, who's got a thing for Ash and just wants to make Misty jealous. It's like, you know what? Let's have some fun with this. It's
That's
Ash
his first
super-
kiss?
Would have been. I think so.
Yeah.
He might have had another like kiss cheek somewhere along the line. I don't know, but.
It's, yeah.
But either way, Misty's like, whatever, I'm not jealous, I'm not his girlfriend, I'm not his sister, I'm a friend, I'm a girl. I'm like, let's play with this the entire movie.
Did you? Yeah, which got annoying. Did you catch that she says Misty's name, but she doesn't hear any of them say?
I
her
didn't.
name?
I
I was like,
I had that on my
okay,
list.
Melody.
I specifically have a note on it because I was
I had that
like,
in my
Misty gets
notes.
called
I
out by
didn't notice.
Melody because, and I wrote down the conversation. She was like, "Are you his sister? No. Then are you his girlfriend? Ew. No. Oh, and Misty tonight, try not to get jealous."
Alright? Melody knows.
Dude,
She's
she was
psychic
in
type.
her head.
She's psychic type. I was just like,
wild.
wow, that's weird. None of them have said their names yet, aside from Melody.
Yeah, because it was just, who are you? Because the captain of the boat said her name, and then Ash goes, "Yeah, I'm Ash. I'm a Pokemon trainer." And then everyone was like, "Fuck everybody else. We just want this one."
So the villagers, the islanders, like, let's have a celebration. Tonight's the ultimate dinner for the chosen one, which is now Ash. They go off, they celebrate. There's some cool like Gyarados puppets and stuff on the street.
It's weird seeing the Pokemon world before what we know of it now, right?
In what you mean?
Because like there's a whole bunch of fruit,
Yeah.
and they're not berries.
Oh
they're
yeah.
they're like real
Okay,
fruit.
that's fair.
So during this party scene, so this island's weird because you have like they're dressed as Aztec warriors.
Yeah.
But they use Gyarados as a Chinese dragon,
Yeah.
which is a Chinese thing,
Mm.
and then the Aztec warrior thing.
Yeah, I took it as, I assumed
the
all
islands-
the
the
costumes were
islands-
the birds.
Yeah.
Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno, just
Yeah, that's what I
modified
was thinking.
slightly.
And the island has like very Hawaii theme.
Yeah.
So it's like they just
A Lola before Lola.
yeah. So they grabbed like it's cool that they basically made a multicultural like
Yeah.
island. What you have like you'll never see a Chinese dragon like in
In Pokemon.
Pokemon,
Yeah.
but like they grabbed that and they somehow found like Aztec outfits and
Mhm.
wore those. I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Nowadays, I would think that everything on that island, if they were to do this movie now, everything would be
Would be a
would be
Pokemon.
obviously Pokemon.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Next, we cut to the dinner where we get a nice little conversation with Marin and a couple other people saying, and then she said, "No, but I have Krabbies," obviously setting up that there are STDs in the Pokemon universe.
Yeah, of course.
So,
Did we need that line in
yes,
this movie?
it was great because as a kid, obviously no one fucking got
Yeah,
it.
no one caught it.
And then I heard it, I'm like, wait, she says a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, dude, I caught that. And I was like, like, I think I stopped. Like, I looked at the screen, and then like Sophie's just watching, just nothing, and I'm like, she just said.
You'll get it when you're older.
Well, because they did that a lot. Like a lot of they made those kind of jokes because like, they needed the adults to have some fun. Because if they're gonna have to sit there because their kid want a mommy daddy to bring them a movie to watch, they gotta give them something.
That's funny. Sex.
That-
There's another line later I want to talk about when they say the word sex, because as a kid that fucking threw my mind, but then I'm like, oh, never mind, the context makes more sense. So Ash is sitting here and he's like, yo, it's dinner time and I'm hype, I want to do this Chosen One shit. Misty's like, shut the fuck up, I'm still pissed off about this other girl, who then, Melody pops out, plays the majestic Lugia song again, and we're all in love with it.
Time.
What's that?
With the Ocarina of Time.
This is the first time I was introduced to the Ocarina. I never played Zelda.
So there's that.
Yeah, same. I saw this like twisty thing, but it threw me because the ocarina in Zelda was just a stationary.
It's a sweet potato one.
Ceramic.
There's
thing.
different types of.
But yeah, and then the only time I've ever seen that rotating one is in Pokemon 2000. I've never seen it otherwise, like outside of the 2000 context. So I'm sure it exists. I've just never seen it.
So before this, Melanie made the comment how people die.
Yes, most of them make them back.
Yeah. So like, and Ash is like, okay,
Sounds good.
Once again, that reckless trainer mentality.
But as we learned from the last movie, that's what sets them apart.
That's what they're out here to do. So Melody explains the story. She gives him the fruit. Hey, you're going to go to 3 islands, collect 3 orbs, bring them back. I play the song. Grand finale. Ash is like, quick. I'm sorry. I said quick and sweet. Like, sweet. Quickly, let's get started. And they're like, well, enjoy the party. And then Marin's like, nah, Ash, I like your hype. Let's fucking get out there. So Marin takes her boat. They sail out to the first island.
The flying has
Jumping ahead.
They haven't flown anywhere yet.
So they basically say fuck physics, but go ahead.
Yes, yeah. So they start going, and then immediately a storm starts. Ash and Marin are like kind of dying in a boat, and then Melody, Misty, and Tracy are like, might as well go save them, I guess, with our magic boat, which right now is still a normal boat, but will become magic.
Which I will say, just quickly for reference.
Yeah.
While they were doing like the whole thing, they're like, you need a boat that can do this, and then Ash is like, oh, I don't have one. Lapras.
Who's made for these kind of waters?
Exactly.
Nah, we don't need Lapras.
We literally saw Lapras earlier in the film, just having a good time, just swimming. I don't have a boat. Lapras cries every time.
So as they're sailing the island, they make it safely, but obviously the rest of our characters don't know that. So they hop in a boat, and we have that third exchange about Ash being the boyfriend and Misty being like, he's my friend, I'm a girl, but we're not boyfriend. And then Tracy.
Well, she gets mad that rumor's going around.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you do like Ash, so why are you mad that they're spreading a rumor that
bitch, you lost your shit.
It's the typical like girl thing that was.
I'm saying Ash belongs to Serena now, so Misty lost her fucking chance.
True.
She was fucking around for 4 fucking seasons or something. But then Tracy has his little like, oh, you guys talking about me?
Fuck Tracy!
That's like the one thing Tracy does in this movie, and I love it.
I hate him that he did that and he made me laugh.
I like how it was just Melody and Misty running, and then he just comes out of nowhere. Oh, you talking about me?
It's like, oh, you guys talking about me?
Like, my boy got so hyped. He's like, finally, my time has come. Someone's talking about me. Finally.
We get a little more exposition. King Lawrence. Lawrence III is after Zapdos. He's tracking him down, but he's like, oh, I'm going to find him soon. We get a phone call between Professor Oak and Ivy talking about the Pokemon are going crazy. What do we do? Let's get in a helicopter and fly out somewhere.
Why?
Professors, they gotta figure it out, right?
We have to, because I think that was all by like Ash's mom, like watching the news, and she'd say, Orange Isles, that's where my boy is.
Yeah.
I gotta go to Oak, we gotta go
This
right
is affecting
now.
the whole world.
What's that?
This is affecting the whole world.
It implied, yes.
So where the fuck is Mewtwo?
He's somewhere with his clones being safe.
Dude,
Why did Mewtwo not come in, grab this guy, and said that easily? I'm just confused. Like, he could have came here and slapped the fuck out of this guy, the 3 birds.
Because
Movie's over.
Mewtwo is true neutral. He's like, I could just bring us back before all this shit even happens again. I'll just erase their memories.
He's the new Doctor Who.
Yeah. Instead of the sonic screwdriver, he just has a spoon.
Ash is on Fire Island. He's like, time to get my first orb. Going up like 13 million
Dragon
stairs.
Balls.
The Dragon Balls, sorry, my bad.
I mean, sure.
Ash is collecting the Dragon Balls. He's got to get the Fire Dragon Ball. Walks up the 13 million stairs. Pikachu is like, yep, I'm still pissed about something, so I might as well go too. And then Marin's ship is like jammed in between a rock. She's like, I guess I'll just drink some coffee while I sit down here. I'm not walking up those stairs.
I love her use of just that brief moment of just downtime. Just
Jason, I'll chill.
Nope, I'm just gonna fucking relax. We're gonna sit back.
And at this point, the Melody, Misty, and Tracy ship gets stuck on the rock. They're like, oh no, we gotta get up to Ash. We got this. Our ship can all of a sudden fly. We pull out the sail.
Worst flying boat ever. I thought I hated the flying castle in this movie. No, this shit was way worse.
They whip out the sail and just start flying up these stairs. Just
So
going
it's not the
crazy.
flight. It's not the flight. It's the stairs. So I'm like,
It's the stairs.
Because the thing I like is they're completely just on land. Like there's
Yeah.
no way they could get around it. And then Melody's just like, oh wait, no, I got this. And then his pulley system. Boat gets lifted with 3 human beings on there with Pokemon. Whoa! And then he goes up the steps. Like,
Works for me, right?
Which also means that this is not the first time that Melody has done this.
She knows how to fly on land. Ash makes it to the top of the stairs, gets the orb. He's like, let's go back for the second one. Team Rocket shows up. They start their monologue. He makes some comment about like, I'll have to catch this on tape. I don't have time for the live performance. It was great.
It was funny.
And they're like, oh, fuck you, kid. You're not getting away. And then, of course, the magic boat comes in, basically kills Team Rocket, but just push them to the side. Team reunites. Oh, my God, we missed you. And they make another comment about boyfriend-girlfriend stuff. It's like,
Nobody's worried about getting the boat out of there because they now are stuck because they have no stairs. There's no no, you know what?
but this is where Jessie makes their mark after the whole boyfriend-girlfriend thing. She's like, once you get involved with the opposite sex, it gets weird. As a kid, I only heard the word sex. I'm like, oh, they can't say that. Whoa, they said, and then Meowth goes and he's like, well, you guys don't have to worry about the opposite sex because you have each other. And it's like, oh.
so this movie confirms rocket shipping. Because a lot of people Team Rocket together, and this movie, Meowth and Jessie just confirmed that those two are fucking.
Yeah.
Like, that's essentially what
Makes
I got.
sense. Lucky James, dude. Lucky guy. Let's see. After that, blah, blah, blah. Boat. They're all freaking out, having a conversation. And then out behind a rock, just Zapdos is like, hey, guys, I'm here.
So, Ash knew who Zapdos was without using the Pokédex. This motherfucker uses the Pokédex on his own Pokemon.
That's what
I had that in minutes too. I was gonna bring it up.
Yeah, he
I was
uses,
just, what's Zapdos doing here?
I'm like, how do you know that? First, it's a legendary bird, and we know your shit. You use the Pokédex. Your opponent will have like a Pikachu, and he's like, what's that?
I've never seen that
So,
one.
yeah.
No, because I have to. Do you think there? Because like most of the time through like productions like this, they do a lot of like stuff with like deleted scenes, and they go through things and they cut just to save time. Do you think that was something they had a scene where Ash did bust it out, go, what's
Yeah,
that?
I think they were
but then like they cut that because they're like, yeah, no, that's not needed.
I don't
I think
think they
there's-
did any of the and I don't even think it happened in Mewtwo though. They didn't have Ash pull out the Pokedex at all.
No, I think
The only time he really should have would have been Don Fan. He's like, Bulbasaur, kill it.
I don't know.
Fuck
I
it.
don't need this. I don't know.
I'll take a picture
But
check later.
yeah, so he knew what it was, which is kind of weird. I'm like, he used a Pokédex on Richie's Charmeleon, knowing full well this motherfucker had to charge himself.
Yeah.
He still pulled out a Pokédex on a Charmeleon.
Just
So
double
I was
check.
like, all right.
Might be an update.
You know who Zapdos is. Maybe you read it in your MySpace. Somebody posted about it or something. But
No. See, I can defend Ash in that instance because I did ask if a Shiinotic was. I fully well knew that it was a grass fairy, but I was like, but what typing? What's its primary? So I was grass, and I kept a Golett out.
Yeah, rest in peace, Ghosty Boys. Zapdos flies in, starts electrocuting some shit. Everything turns blue. I didn't really question it. I thought it looked cool. And then Pikachu starts using like Thunderbolt. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's about to fight." But it's like, no, they're talking. They talk through
Which
electricity.
Meowth is fluent in.
Makes no
talking
sense.
English, Pokemon, and electricity.
Which makes no sense because, well, before that, Meowth was already translating.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, so Zapdos doesn't have to do. We don't have to have this weird sexual charge scene. We don't have to have dragon sex. Essentially, this is.
Zapdos can just screech.
But yeah, Pikachu's like, "Hey, so why are you here? Where's Moltres?" And Zapdos like, "Moltres is fucking gone. I own Fire Island now."
Okay. Can I bring this up for the first time
Yes.
in this podcast?
Yep.
Zapdos is the true villain of this movie.
Okay.
Not Lawrence the Third.
Zapdos like, "I own the islands."
Yeah, exactly. This is the first note that he's the true villain in the movie. We'll get to the next part.
It's fair.
We'll
It's
get to the
fair.
next one.
Okay. I like it. I like where this is going. So in the middle of this conversation, Lawrence shows up. He's like, "Oh, time to catch Zapdos." He sets out his cage again. Zapdos is fighting back, and the team's just like, "Wow, this is a cool show." Obviously not paying the fuck attention. They get captured in their own little cage, sucked into the big old Ferris wheel airship. Then we catch Zapdos, also get sucked in, and now our team and 2 of the 3 birds are captured by Lawrence the
So,
Third.
and we talked about this in the card. This is where one of the plots, like the writers are like, yeet, and through the plot.
Yeah.
So, I don't have to pull it up, but
Okay.
it says that Zapdos absorbs electricity from mechanisms around, sometimes even the air, the electric currents in the air. So Zapdos got drained from his electric powers. This dumb bitch decided to use a electrical trap on a Pokemon who can absorb electricity, which in theory the trap wouldn't have worked.
But I mean, it did, right? I mean, we noticed that that Golem got taken down by Thunderbolt. So like anything in the anime Pokemon world is like physically possible
This
with
is what
elements.
happens.
This is where I start. From this point
is where I
forward-
hate the movie.
Yeah, from this point forward, I was like, okay, that's a little weird. So you just said something that triggers my trap card, which is now they're in the little Ferris wheel like
Ship,
bullshit
yeah.
thing
They're in that
with
collection
2
room.
birds,
Yep.
and this guy knows that he's putting these antagonists for him with 2 birds, right? What do you think is gonna fucking happen?
And it's perfectly
Yeah.
okay.
I make the point. I say in here, it makes the least amount of sense. Because if they had a way to break out, sure. But Homeboy's just like, "Oh, I see I've caught something else." Opens the cage. "Oh, I gotta go get Articuno." And then just lets him. Yep. So that is pretty fucked up.
One track mind.
Although again, this is where just in case you forgot who the antagonist is, as he's descending and you can see the ceiling art above him, how
Yeah.
it's like the. Like the Vatican,
Yeah.
and it has like all like the angels and shit. Just in case you forgot, imagery is there.
I wanted to point out like the polar opposites we have of these 2 birds. I assume Moltres is just fucking exhausted because he's already fought. But Zapdos is like, "I'm just gonna keep screaming and screaming." And Moltres is like, "Dog, shut the fuck up. I'm tired. Shut up."
So the scene when he leaves on the elevator, it's the same scene they used in the beginning of the movie, but they reversed it.
No.
For budget reasons, yeah. If go back and look at
I
it,
noticed that.
it's just a reverse scene
No.
for budget reasons.
I didn't even know. I'm so engrossed in how much I love this movie, and everyone's just like, "By the way, this shit wild." But let me see here. Here's where he kind of goes. He's like, "I'm a collector. I collect things." So like, "You're kind of an asshole." He's like, "Let me live my life." Fun fact, the Mew card in question is the first time that we've ever seen proof of the Pokemon cards in the Pokemon universe. And I'm pretty sure it's the last. I put last. I don't know that for a fact. Might be an outdated statement. I don't know.
Which I'm going to bring later, but it's, like the whole thing is I like how pretty much he's just the entirety of the Pokemon community of just catching things and then just putting it in a box and then never touching it again.
Another situation where we have now the collectors, like, well, it's not shiny hunting per se, but the shiny hunters
Close enough.
versus just the people that play the game. By the way, with the tagline like "Gotta catch 'em all," which is also said kind of in the anime to some degree, like every Pokemon trainer wants to catch everything to fill up their Pokedex, whatever.
Yeah.
Can you blame the guy?
It's a lot harder to get everything if I don't have big old cages. It's just a lot easier.
I don't have the real estate to pay for a PC.
So, how do I get this free login?
I mean, I know he's kind of an asshole, but like, isn't collecting all the Pokemon like something that some trainers want to do?
He's using his head. He's thinking. He's like, "This is how we do it." But aside from that, the Mew card was also a promo for anyone who bought a ticket to the movie in the first week. If you went to buy a ticket after the first week, you got a random selected Zapdos, Moltres, or Articuno card in a cool little box. I remember I had all 4 cards, don't have a single one of them anymore. But I did have them all.
I have 2 out of 3.
Ooh, nice. Okay,
Just the Mew card.
How many do you have, Dante?
Story for another time.
Okay. But yeah, here Lawrence lets him out of the cage. Why? No fucking clue. He just did. Goes to get Articuno. Some strange things happening, occurring as a giant Pokemon across the globe. Let me see here, blah, blah, blah. Miss where I'm at. Landlocked. Here we go. The Pokemon are, all the wild Pokemon are like, it's time to get out here. Let's get involved in whatever the fuck's happening in these islands. You have a bunch of Pokemon that can't make it any further because, like, I'm a Venusaur, I'm an Onix. I can't walk through water. But then we have our flying type Pokemon and our water Pokemon who are flying and swimming. And in this scene, you get introduced to some of your favorite water type Pokemon, like Blastoise,
We get very.
Seadra, and Ekans. These are my favorite water type Pokemon.
He's an orange variant.
He says an
I mean, Lickitung is always also in there too.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't even see Lickitung.
It's from the backed up perspective,
Okay.
not the sideways one, but
Okay.
they're backed up.
Lickitung
At first I was like, I thought it was a Slowbro.
Yeah.
I was like, or a Slowpoke, and I was like, no, that's Lickitung. Wait, well, huh?
That's awesome.
I rewound that scene multiple times because also with the flying Pokemon, they're like, all the other Pokemon that are landlocked, they can't get over there. Meanwhile, while they're showing the Pokemon that are landlocked, there are Zubats just sitting right there.
I
And
know,
I'm like,
fly so far.
it's like, wait a minute, hang on. So you telling me Butterfrees can cross the ocean,
They can't
but a
see.
Zubat can't?
Zubats they don't have eyes and they use sonar. Trust me, sonar doesn't fucking work right now.
But you're telling me a butterfly can cross the ocean to another island and be okay, but a Golbat and a
Because
Zubat
they can't
wouldn't
fucking
be.
see.
But a Golbat was there. Golbat has
Yes,
eyes.
bats are known to not be able to see.
Bats have sight.
But it's bad.
It's not as bad as what you think. I just watched a video on
Okay, I
this.
don't know. I just know Zubats has no eyes. So like,
He's got, unless you believe like the fan theory that those are his eyes and not his teeth. I don't believe that, but I think it's funny when I see it. That he's got like a mask going on. It's just like 2 little eyes, but. Here we go with the point earlier. Now we cut into the helicopter where it's like, now we're seeing Oak, Ivy, and Ash's mom kind of tell the story of what we're doing. Oak's just like, hey, so big storm's happening. Fire and ice were kind of having their thing, and Electra got involved, which created the Beast of the Sea, which was not Lugia, which was the river going wild, which is kind of weird.
It's a weird concept, right? Like at first they say underwater river, and I'm like, that sounds weird.
Yeah, it's like a current. It's the East Australian current from Finding Nemo, is all it is.
Yeah.
But then, fun fact once again, Pokemon 2000 is the first time we're introduced to 3 characters' first names: Samuel Oak, Dahlia Ketchum, and I think it's Felina Ivy is her first name.
Felina.
No one ever calls her that.
Funky,
Professor Ivy.
cold Felina.
I like this little moment. We keep getting these little cuts to Slowking, who's just like kind of waiting for Ash to show up and do something. And right here, he's just Articuno's out doing his thing, so he's covered in snow, and Homie's like, "Let me show you pants." I love it. Like Slowking maybe has like 40 words in the whole movie, and these are the best ones that he has.
Oh, he's cool though.
Slowking's great. Slowking's great.
But yeah, Articuno and Lawrence finally start facing off. Everyone, they're like, let's do this. I'm about to catch my 3rd Pokemon. Meanwhile, the crew's inside, like, he let us free. We might as well free these other Pokemon. So you have Ash with his team, and God knows why the other 3 did not. Maybe Melody doesn't have Pokemon, I don't know. But Tracy and Misty had something.
Well, she can't be because they freaked out over Ash being a Pokemon.
Yeah, I was just.
That's true. So does that just mean no one on the island owns Pokemon?
Guess.
Sounds like it. It sounds like their entire prophecy relies on someone. Pokemon
Someone
trainer
has to get
just
lost
finding
here.
his way there.
So yeah, Ash lets out Pikachu and Charizard, try to let out Moltres. Moltres still chill as fuck, like, all right.
Charizard listens to Ash for some reason.
Yes.
Even though this takes place before.
This is before, yeah.
Before he
I forget how Orange Island, their relationship in Orange Island. I don't know if they're
no,
like...
he didn't listen to him until Johto.
Okay. Well, damn, Ash.
Yeah.
He must have had some moment of excitement or the movie like, oh, he doesn't listen? We don't watch the anime. We just made the movie. 2 Pokemon ain't enough. Team Rocket's like, let's help Zapdos. So let's just throw our big gas bag at this big electric bird and see what it does.
Bounces off the thing.
Oh man, such a good effect.
So for some reason, I think this is the Mandela effect for me. I remember Ash letting out Bulbasaur and Squirtle, and Bulbasaur doing literally nothing. And I think I'm mixing it with the intro where it's like Flamethrower, Hydro Pump, and Venusaur does nothing.
Yeah, no, you're mixing the intro.
Yeah, but for some reason I also remember being like Squirtle, Water Gun, Charizard, Flamethrower, Pikachu, Thunderbolt, and Bulbasaur's like, I'm here. I'm cool. But he uses Vine Whip. This finally breaks out Moltres, and Moltres like, sick! I'm free! What's up, bitch? And just annihilates Zapdos' cage.
Yo, Zapdos, you want the smoke?
Let's go, baby.
Okay, so here's how I interpreted this.
Okay.
This is Zapdos' second villain moment. Okay. Moltres realizes that he's free. He's like, all right, cool. I'm gonna break Zapdos out, and we're gonna make this movie short. Okay. We take down this ship, and then we just both go our separate ways because some dickhead in a castle in the sky decided to capture us, and that's why everything was out of whack and balance. Okay. But no, Zapdos breaks free, and instead of being like, oh man, thank you my bird friend, I apologize for taking over your island. No, fuck you!
I still want your island, bitch!
And it just takes them down. I'm like, okay, Moltres saved them. They could have just settled their differences, taken out the villain of the movie, and just been done with it. But no, they decide. Zapdos was like, nah, I'm gonna go against you instead.
Now let's
like,
go.
why? Because the movie would have been way shorter.
You would have got Lugia.
Zapdos is the Sasuke of that movie.
Exactly. Zapdos is the true villain of the movie.
So the birds start to clash. They bust open the side of this building, Ferris wheel ship, which starts to plummet. Our birds are now all fighting in the sky. Articuno involved. Oh shit, things are going on. And Lugia is like, well, I guess it's time for me to show up.
Here's how Lawrence is like, in disbelief that he put like 5 strangers in a ship with access to be able to get out.
To be fair, he probably didn't know they had Pokemon, other than that Pikachu. He's like, what's that gonna do? You know? He might have been like, I'm just a collector. I don't need to worry about these kids.
He was very overconfident in his own technology.
One-track mind.
So right here, after they break down, the ship starts to fall. I remember this scene from the trailer, and it's like permanently ingrained in my head when I think of 2000. But as like the whole crew, Team Rocket, Ash, everyone is like running down the side of this building as it's crashing. Like, whenever I think of the trail, I'm like, that image is there. Mm-hmm. That, and when Lugia uses like Hyper Beam and he goes like that, those two images, I'm like, that's Pokemon 2000. I remember those without a doubt. So, plane crashes, large chunks of debris everywhere, shattered in the shrine. He's about to break everything. Let's see, lucky giant metal structure, yep. Polymer glass, right. So Ash, they're all running, they fall off this thing.
They survive.
They do survive. They survive.
And you kind of skip that they survive thousands of feet on a metallic death trap coming down.
As they hit the ground, they're about to run. The ship is still falling, and it shatters the shrine of the electric orb. But luckily, all this big metal debris didn't shatter the palm-sized glass ball that Ash needed to pick up.
Indestructible.
2 orbs down, 1 to go. Let's see. They make some jokes about, I don't want to get hit by electricity. I don't want to get hit by fire. Meowth's like, I don't want to get hit by their droppings. Like, I don't want to get hit by shit. That's basically his whole thing. So there we are there. Battle continues to go, so on and so forth. I'm just trying to catch up with where I'm at here. We did a lot more like diversion conversation with this one, which I like. You guys talk about the birds for a second while I catch myself up here.
Yeah, so I think that so what I do like about this is that we do get to see more of the birds because you don't get to see these things except in the movies. The thing here is that I think the movie takes too long to show you, hey, here's Lugia. So like the whole time you're forgetting that the movie's called, well, the cover art has Lugia in it. Yeah. You forget that because the whole focus is on 3 birds. Yeah. Who you could have done this movie without the 3 birds, but I'll say that until the end of the movie.
Right. Go ahead.
Because every time we do see Lugia, he's under the water and he's making his way to there.
Yeah, he's just like a silhouette.
So it's just like the silhouette with the glowing eyes. So that way you're like, oh, he's coming, he's coming.
Making whale noises.
And it's they're building it up. But I do have to agree they do take a little too long to give the reveal.
I will say this, that a lot of people always complain like, oh, how can Slowking talk? Like he's not he's not using telepathy like Mewtwo and Lugia. And I was like, it's common knowledge. Every Pokédex entry does this. If a psychic Pokemon is smart enough, they can develop psychic abilities. One of the Pokédex entries says that some Alakazams can actually just talk. because the more you're not intelligent, but the stronger your psychic abilities, the more you get though, because you're not speaking English, you're just transferring your thoughts into that person and you're reading that person's thoughts back. So most psychic types have that. I don't know why the fuck Lapras does it. That makes no sense. But most psychic types that do talk, or Pokemon that are psychic-like, obviously Lucario's not a psychic type, but he has like the whole aura gimmick or whatever. So every time in the movies, they always give you that Pokemon that has psychic-like abilities. They talk. That's the reason for it. And I feel like both the Pokedex in the anime and in the games tells you all the time, that psychic Pokemons can eventually get so strong to the point where they can read your motives and stuff like that.
Right. So yeah, our birds are fighting. They're having a little thing. They're about to clash into the giant shrine that Ash needs to place these orbs on.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, a big ass water vortex comes out. What's gonna come out of this thing? We have no idea. Ho just breaks through like, "What's up? You thought it was the other guy,
but it was me."
I have
Deal.
I have in my notes, "Wake up, Daddy Lugia," as well as Lugia Yeet. He totally saved the boat and was just like, "Oh yeah, fuck off over here."
Go over there. I'm coming up now.
Yeah, so Lugia pops up and he's like, "All right, cool. While you're doing your thing, Ash, and he's not talking yet. He's still just a regular Pokemon at this point. He's 1v3ing these birds, and Slowking's like, "Hey, so you're the one who's got to do this. Lugia, he can fight now, but he can't really do much until you do your shit." So Lugia gets outpowered, he gets electrocuted, flamethrower, ice beams, falls to the ice, and is dead for the first time in the movie. It happens 3 or 4 times. So Lugia plummets, and Melody's like, "I got an idea. What if I play the song?" But before that happens, we have our fun little transition of the world will turn to Ash as opposed to the world will turn to Ash. And we have the meaning there, and it's now Ash all of a sudden is like, "Oh wait, I'm actually the chosen one, not a joke." Now I'm kind of scared.
Because who was the one there that pointed out that it had double meaning?
It was Slowking / Misty.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah, because Slowking's the one that's the world will turn to Ash, not explaining. And then Misty goes, "Wait, no, Ash, you're right here." And
then Ash, because he was like, "Oh, I really wish my mom named me something else right now."
I really wish I was named Bob instead of Ash.
It's great.
Also, during that fight was pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Because all 3 birds sent Lugia into the water.
Yeah.
And kept fucking
going.
I've never seen that before.
Stay down.
Fire. This motherfucker should have fucking died.
Yeah. So yeah, Melody's like, "Oh, I got the idea." Now she whips out the ocarina, plays the song. Lugia comes back and he's like, "Oh, Ash, you're the one who has to do this, my guy. I need you to go get that last orb so we can shut all this shit down."
Said it just like that.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
my
Word for
guy.
word. I have it quoted here on the script. He's like, "My guy, we need to get this shit done."
I like how, for some reason, by the way, we've always thought that Ash is this go-getter, but as soon as responsibility is put on him, he loses his cool.
Yeah.
Every other time, he's just reckless trainer abandoned. You tell him to do this, you can do this thing, but as soon as you're just "Oh, you need to save the world," oh fuck. I don't think I can do this.
Ash, you need to get 3 orbs and bring them back to this one spot on the island. All right, let's go right now. Ash, you need to save the world.
Ash, I need you to do the exact same thing you've been doing this entire movie, but now there's actual stakes. That's too much, Chief. I don't know.
Too much.
I don't know. I tried to punch a Mewtwo one time.
That didn't go too well. But luckily Mew came to save me, so maybe if someone tries to kill me...
Everybody's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck is a Mewtwo and a Mew?" My dude,
you should remember this, guy. You're
Get some fucking
That's
sleep,
true.
my dude.
That's true. He should remember it.
But yeah, so then, crazy as a kid, so I was telling Dante earlier, I had a basic 4:3 TV, and this movie I think originally was released in a little bit wider screen. It's probably 6:3 or something. It's not an actual dimension, but stick with me. So in this moment where Ash's team pops out and they're like, "Ash, we believe in you," Snorlax was cut off on my screen. So I had no idea this Lumix was there. And for some reason I never noticed in the beginning, maybe I was paying too much attention to Lapras, but Ash is like, "Charizard, ooh, fire? Nah. Snorlax, too heavy? Whoa." So you see Snorlax twice in this movie.
Yeah.
On the boat and in that moment. And since he was cut off, I had no idea Ash had a Snorlax. And then when I watched this movie on a real widescreen TV, I'm like, where's the fucking Snorlax come from? What's that? I didn't know this existed. So So yeah, because he's he's literally on the left of the screen, completely looking this way. He's just "Ugh." And that's what he does in this movie. But now Ash is like, oh, the team believes in me? I got this. Oh, I made something about lazy bitch lappers who didn't come out of the Pokeball. I don't know. But Ash is like, we got this. He starts hold on, what did he say? He said...
He starts.
Oh, he's like, all right, I am the chosen one, and then he starts marching through the snow. He's like, right now I feel like the frozen one. So what does he do? He finds a piece of metal from the broken boat that Lugia shattered, and pulls out his whole team, minus Lapras and Snorlax, of course, and starts bobsledding through the snow. Now I'd like to know how Squirtle and Bulbasaur can like walk through the snow, and Ash is like, nah, my feet are too heavy, but these little dudes are like, oh, we're good.
What, do you think it was just because like the snow was just that dense that since
Maybe
they were
light
lighter,
enough.
they were able to like walk in? Because that's what I would like to imagine.
It's probably the only logical thing with it. Yeah,
Right.
probably.
This entire sequence did not need to be the way that it was. I think they just did it to have like a hype moment.
Yeah.
You have it in your notes here. I know you're gonna say it, but we talked about it before.
The Lord of the Rings logic.
It's just like, why could you not just use Charizard?
Why did you not just fly there? It's because I was like, you could fly Charizard. I guess him and Lugia weren't on those like stages yet where you're like, can you just fly me over there? You kind of had to fight, but it's just kind of plot hole there. Like, why didn't you just fly over there, get the orb, fly back, call it a day?
Because I think it was more of like one of those things where it was with the birds fighting. He needed someone powerful enough to kind of like if they were to approach, he could back them away. So I think the whole thing was Ash had to find a way to get across, but he could just take a Charizard. But like the whole thing was Lugia was gonna be like, I'm gonna be the protector. If they try to step up, I'm just gonna bash them away.
It's gonna be because one of them. It takes one of them to fuck up Charizard too.
Yeah.
Like Zapdos.
Zapdos would just replace
So I understand like the Lugia having Lugia there for protection.
But Lugia could fly.
But I mean, this entire mindset still gets shattered by the fact of later when he does actually ride on the Lugia.
Yeah.
And Lugia is still technically protecting him while he's on his back.
Now, to be fair, that was only a 1v2 because Articuno was already knocked the fuck out of that.
Got knocked out by the true villain of the movie.
Struck by lightning, and then as he's gliding, fire.
To be fair, the next time we see Lugia, it's from that episode where they show Baby Lugia, and Big Lugia used a safeguard, which completely nullifies all damage to him and everybody around him. He could have done that here.
The fight from the birds, they knock out the sled thing we've built to get across. Ash is like, oh shit, water? I better save my Charizard quick and just let everybody else run.
That was such a nice attention to detail, though.
Yeah,
because,
it was great. It was fun to
because
watch.
because some people do forget that when Ash first got Charmander, it was said that if the flame on his tail ever gets extinguished, he dies.
Yeah.
So I love seeing like Charizard like getting like flipped, and he's like, I'm not gonna like Charizard wouldn't have been able to save himself for just Ash to just on instinct. He's the first.
Yeah.
Like it was really nice to see that.
I did enjoy seeing it. It was almost jarring in a way where it's like everybody's here and it's like I gotta save one, save Charizard. Like it's so quick. I feel like it didn't. In the moment, it doesn't feel as like powerful. I guess. I think it just feels like a quick like, oh, well, Charizard's gone. That makes sense. Okay.
Parental instinct kicked in and Ash chose his favorite.
Damn, Pikachu, you stay out. So now we're stuck on the ice. We got to start trudging again. But what's that? We hear something in the distance. I skipped the part of the helicopter. No one fucking cares. Oh my God! It's Team Rocket on the lifeboat with the thing from the helicopter that crashed. What's going on? Oh no, the bad guys are coming. Just kidding. They want to be heroes now. They're gonna save the day. So now we take this boat. We're sailing off to Ice Island. We're gonna get there nice and easy because all of our boats we don't use water. We just use whatever we're on. And they have this like cool moment where they're like surfing on the tunnel, and I'm like, oh, that's majestic. But then they go across a bridge and do it again, and I'm like, I don't think we need to recycle that. We could have just been like, just do the bridge, do the thing, and then we made it to the shrine.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know if they needed those extra 2 seconds to make sure that we hit a quota for a time. But as they get out of the tunnel, they hit the shrine, they find the final orb, and as he goes to grab it, the birds are like, oh, forgot about us. They're fighting, and Articuno gets fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Homie gets knocked out.
He gets struck by lightning and then
Struck by fire.
flamethrowered as he's gliding
slams
across
into the shrine, and it's just like I'm gonna take a nap. I'm good. I'm done.
Which here's the interesting thing, because this is the bridge we're crossing now.
Yeah.
So it's been stated they've had people do this before, and there's always a chosen one.
Yeah.
And it's been implied this has happened many times. But Lugia specifically states that the ice orb is the only one that's unique in the sense that only the chosen one can remove it from its pedestal, and that is the only person in time that can remove it. How the fuck did they get it out there all those other times?
So I thought, and maybe I didn't write it right or hear it right. I thought it was anyone can pick it up, but nobody can activate it. Like, if they pick them up, it's just the glass bullet. Versus like when Ash grabs them, they start to like.
When they light it,
so they do it for ceremonial.
Yeah,
because
that's when I noticed. I'm like, okay, so that's what they mean. But so anyone can take it. It's just it wouldn't.
It's not gonna work if it's not Ash.
It was more so just a ceremony thing. I don't even think the original 3 birds were involved. At the
Which
time.
is like my question. Like, where the fuck were they then? Like, the people just walked in the island like, they're just doing their thing.
This is the land of the mythical Zapdos.
Yeah.
It can kill us instantly. Let's piss off its nest.
But then, like, who puts them back? They have the ceremony. Like, I guess we're done with the orbs.
Well, I think we're looking into it.
You can make the chosen one just go back, or like Melody's like, I hate this part. She just starts taking them back.
They turn
with
to
her flying
stone.
bonus.
They turn to stone. Go.
Maybe, right?
And then stop.
Slow King takes him back. That's his purpose.
But yes, now that Articuno is out, the team's like, we need to get the fuck back to the shrine. They start hauling ass, climbing out, and Lugia's like, Ash, do you got the thing? And he's like, I do. Hop on. And
He's talking about the power of one too.
the power of one.
Yeah, the whole time. They constantly drilled that into Ash, even though he's had help the whole entire
Yeah. Which is really interesting because, like, I remember when the Power of Us came out and it was like the reboot of 2, but it's like not similar at all.
Yeah.
It just has Lugia in it. Because they're like, originally we were like, you could do this by yourself. Now, like, you can do this with friends. It's like the whole 20-year plot change of the Lugia movie.
Which I forgot to mention, but earlier when I said there's one moment that's alluded that Lugia is psychic, it's when they're on the way there, because like the birds do try stopping them as they're on the sled going across, but then Lugia has like that psychic barrier and he's just flying into them.
Yeah.
That's the only instance we can see that he's psychic in any capacity. Other than that, water flying.
Water flying. So let's see. So Lugia takes off. Team Rocket's like, don't forget us. They grab the leg, and Lugia is still swerving from Zapdos and Moltres. What am I going to do? I got to get away from here. And Team Rocket's just like, damn, we're slowing down Lugia. We should probably stop. Like, we should jump off. And I think it's James that makes it like, oh, I never should have quit Weight Watchers. And Jesse's like, shut up. And Meow's like, I hear it's never too late if you stick to the program. And I'm like, okay. I like the real world reflections here, because obviously this stops like after a point. Like, I don't think they're gonna make a Weight Watchers joke in a modern Pokemon movie.
Oh no, you can't make those kind of
not
jokes
at all.
nowadays.
Which is great.
Yeah, and can we? I want to briefly bring up that 4Kids allowed the word "die" in this movie.
Yes, they did.
They're like, Meowth is like, we're gonna die, or something like that. I was like, wow, 4Kids actually allowed that.
There it is. So they let go. They start to plummet. They do the little 3-hand thing. They slam into the water, and the Pokemon are like, just watching, like, oh, what's up, guys? We're watching this bird fight in the sky.
Human life? No.
Yeah.
I just heard your camera turn off. I heard the chicked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Is it
that
all?
Yeah, is that the only battery you have?
No, I have another one. I'll get to it.
Just leave the audio
Can I
running.
use the bathroom real quick?
Nope, sit down.
Well,
yeah,
so-
go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I'm thinking like they'll make it's hard to focus right now.
Sit down.
Could you stop fucking around, sir? Do you want to like play or get to your you fam? Or you bro?
I'm good, bro.
Okay, let's just
I
reset.
like how that's the only way that can stand.
Well, he needs his butt plug.
He needs the tail, and it's like not even.
We stopped at Lugia's on the home stretch.
Sinking. Thank you. Lucas on the home stretch.
So anyways, Team Rocket came in, blasting guns,
Yes.
super wild.
So yeah, they fall from the sky, get slammed. Lugia is like, let's fight this a little bit while I'm still flying. I feel like it's a blur. I don't remember when exactly Zapdos and Moltres got knocked out. Because I don't remember that moment. I just remember them waking up.
I think it happens from the hyper beam.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense.
I want to say that's when it happens, but
Okay. So yeah, they're fighting through this. Lugia's like, oh sweet, we're gonna make it. We're gonna go do this thing. And then out of nowhere, Lawrence is back with his cage trying to catch Lugia. Lugia's like, I got it. He slams underwater. No, hold on. He does the hyper beam first, yeah? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He does the hyper beam first. Sorry, forget that part. He does the hyper beam, right? The really cool, like it's like this most angry. It's weird because it's like almost like a different style of animation, but not bad. The way Lugia looks when he's like, I'm angry, and he has like this wire of a hyper beam that then turns into one beam and just blasts everything. And I guess it's just exerts too much energy, so he passes out, hits the water.
I mean, he does it twice in a row without recharging. So.
That's true. He did exert too much. He didn't have that rest to him. It's like Giga Impact and shit.
By the way, he has great aim because he nailed that fucking castle.
He fucking did. That's right. And then he obliterates this thing like, ideally for good. Maybe. It's heavily implied. Maybe we'll see Lawrence again, but it's been 20 fucking years, so I don't think so.
He shows up again.
What's that?
He shows up again.
What?
On Lugia Return, Part 2.
Shut your ass up. Shut your ass up. So yeah, now Lugia and Ash are both passed out in the water. Lugia is like fading out, being like, oh, I failed. And then Misty and Melody are like, someone's got to save this Ash kid. And from the top of the shrine, like, oh, he's drowning. Someone's got to save him. And Melody, like, I'm the only one who can play the song. I'll do it. And Misty's like, no, I'm his not girlfriend, but might as well be.
Expert swimmer.
Which was really stupid, by the way, of Melody, right? She was like, I'm the only person who can play the song. Take my ocarina. I'm going to go save him. Wait a minute, what?
And she's like, nah, bitch, you need to fucking stay here. So Misty swims out. Tracy pulls him back with the rope. The second thing he does in this movie.
That's yeah. That's his highlight moment.
Yeah.
You guys talking about me?
So is that one? Missy's an expert swimmer, so I feel like it was the right choice.
Yeah.
But she was swimming wearing shorts and a tank top and freezing water.
Honestly, anyone who touched water in this movie should have had the
should have died.
Hypothermia. Ash should be just dead. But let them live their life, I guess. I guess a lot of those Pokemon just had to pee in the water, so it's probably a little warmer than it should be. Yeah, Misty swims out, drags him back to shore, says, Ash, wake the fuck up. He's like, oh, me? I'm the chosen one. Does this slow, triumphant march.
She wakes him up by shaking him after he just almost fucking drowned.
No CPR, worst CPR ever.
Ash is like, oh.
You know how when they get CPR, you're like,
She's a water gym leader and she doesn't know CPR.
Listen, she's the youngest of her sisters. She doesn't know it all yet.
But she's apparently the strongest.
Because you know that just implies anybody that's like a trainer, that well like one of the people you have to fight on the way there, that when they're in the pool and they're just like treading water, if they drown, she's just like,
you're good.
No,
hey,
no, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Get up. Wake up. She's just like Darla from like, wake up, fishy!
If they die, they die.
So Ash makes his triumphant final march to the pedestal, places the orb, and then Melody's just like, I got
the lighting that comes out of this.
Yeah. So I thought about this, right? I've never noticed, like when he puts the final orb and then everything turns green, I'm like, that's some chroma key stuff that we could have some fun with. I don't know what we put in there. I don't know what we can do. But you could take that moment and be like, put the orb, everything turns green, and just be like, like that cowboy like singing shit. Like you put anything in there. But that's for another video. So the runes start to shine, Mountain Dew or something starts flowing out of these mountains and just bleeds into the water as Melody continues to play the song.
Can I bring up that this next portion of the movie, like in terms of the set piece itself?
Okay.
I actually really enjoy the set piece.
We're talking about the shrine and
the shrine itself, once all the like snow melts away. It's actually very pretty.
When the flowers start to pop back up from absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. I think it was my wallpaper for a while, like some fan art of it. I think it's gorgeous.
As much as I harp on this movie, that set piece is actually very breathtaking.
Yeah. So as the water and everything starts to happen, Melody plays a song, Lugia wakes up, and he's like, yo, we're alive, we did it. The three birds wake up themselves like, oh, I guess we're good now. I guess we really don't have to fight anymore. So they chill out. And Lugia is like, hey, guys, we did it. Let me pick up Ash. Let's fly around a little bit. We have that other really good Pokemon 2000 song that I don't know what it's called, but it's really victorious and triumphant. I like it a lot. So they fly around. Ash does his victory lap. And all the Pokemon are like, cool, I guess we're done here. So they go home. I guess they really just kind of. I just imagine like the Forrest Gump run where dude runs like across the country. And he's like, now what? I'm gonna go back. And then they all just
Also, all the
did same
Pokemon
thing.
all the Pokemon, like the water Pokemons that swam there,
Yeah.
from around the world, any of them could have helped Ash, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Any of them.
But they're not Misty.
We don't know how to help. Do something! I'm drowning over here.
I think the most any of them did was Gyarados. Like they took turns using hyper beams, to, like clear the ice, so the rest of them could keep swimming.
So they can get
That's-
a front row seat.
Yeah, basically.
But the thing here is, Lugia tanks Ash, not
Thank you, Ash.
Pikachu, Misty, all the Pokemon that held, Melanie. Ash didn't do shit. Everybody carried Ash.
Ash was the chosen one, sir.
Yeah,
He
pick
was
up
the only
orbs.
person who could pick up these orbs.
They did everything. All he did is like, oh, I'll fucking put this here.
Tell me what Pikachu did other than being emo the whole time.
Him?
He jumped on the thing like,
Weirdly-
Pika!
Weirdly
He
enough,
emo
Pikachu
arc.
didn't do a lot in this movie.
Pikachu communicated with
Pikachu
Tapos.
almost like was non-existent. Like at the end when he like puts a smile on and hops on Ash's shoulder, I'm like, oh shit, Pikachu's in this movie. Fuck.
Pikachu existed.
Yeah. Other than a couple electric.
Because it was him
stuff.
talking to Zap. Well, him grabbing Ash's hat to start this whole thing.
His Titanic moment on the boat.
Him talking to Zapdos just so Meowth can interpret all of it.
Yep. Letting out Moltres.
And then this moment.
Yeah. It's like Pikachu is just so minuscule. It's weird.
Also, there's 2 deaths confirmed. The helicopter pilots that were with Dahlia, Oak, and Ivy.
Okay.
They were never seen.
They were
Fair.
seen getting out of it. This
Yeah.
Fair.
And because Team Rocket picked up the scraps of
Yeah.
that helicopter, it's safe to say they're not around. Like,
Yeah.
those guys fucking died. And usually in a helicopter, you have 2 pilots. Because you have...
Yeah.
Colin and Coco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guys.
So rest in peace. Can we take a 3 seconds silence?
What about the news reporters?
Bro, I-
He said 3 seconds of silence, damn it!
Fuck, Chris. Fuck them. We're not doing it. Keep going.
Yeah,
Danny.
fine.
Fuck them guys.
I'm sorry, was it news report?
Well, yeah, like the 2 news reporters, like the cameraman and
Oh, they're dead
and
too.
the interviewer.
Yeah, they're
But,
dead.
like they were in there too.
Listen, not everyone can make it, okay? We need some liabilities. Yep, everything gets sunny again. The islands are happy. Oh my god, the chosen one saved the world. Lugia returns to the sea being like, hey Ash, you tamed the beast of the sea. And it's like,
Team Rocket kind of saved the world, but go ahead. Keep going.
sort of, kind of, but you know, they're just not the real MVPs. Like, they're not the chosen
Yeah.
one. If you're not the chosen one and you did anything, you don't count. So then it's like the weird, like, the storm was the beast of the sea, not Lugia, but like, you know. And then of course Ash's mom's here like, hey, Ash, what the fuck? And Ash's like, oh, hey mom, when'd you get here? He's like, don't do this shit again. But I had to save the world. If you would have died, I would have lost my whole world. Oh, mom, okay, I'll never do it again.
So,
Come to Pokemon 3.
To be fair, how did Ash's mom know that he was involved in any of that?
So the only thing...
There was no news reports about a chosen one going to all the islands.
Because he was technically home, so she knew he went to the Orange Island. No, well, yeah, because he left the league. He went to the Orange Island, so she knew he was going there.
Yeah.
So when she saw the news, he was in the area. And then I think when they're in the helicopter...
But they spoke with
see
Professor
them.
Oak.
What's that?
Didn't they speak to Professor Oak earlier?
Ash and them?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I remember-
So... Because I think Oak's first calls with Ivy and Brock. And then they get together and get in the helicopter. So I don't think Ash... I think the only time they see it is as they're about to crash, like down the seas, like, oh, what's Ash and his friends doing? Like, no actual visual proof. She just says, like, oh, Ash and his friends are down there. And I guess she's like, okay, I guess I'll climb down a rock to find my son. But yeah, she's like, I'm gonna lose the whole world. Oh no, my whole world's my son. They hug it out. Happy birthday. We come back to Lawrence, who's just like, damn. Hold on, let me see. Did I write it down?
He doesn't get arrested, though.
Everybody in here? Yeah, well, he's stuck on an island. And again, we don't know what happens to him. He just kind of exists. I
He's
don't think
like,
there's any kind of...
now I'll start all over.
Yeah, and he's just like, huh, all that's left is my Mew card. Guess we're starting again. So right here, I'm like, is there another
So
Lawrence
this is
movie
the
that was
part where
planned?
Lawrence says this time, it's like, I almost did my goal if it wasn't with those meddling kids.
Like,
He's gonna try his new card to get like an exoskeleton,
Yeah.
kill Ash and everybody else, and then accomplish.
what chosen one?
Part of me is led to believe that we're supposed to gather that Lawrence has maybe learned something from this.
Nah, that's not how.
But
That's not what I got.
in the next breath, I'm just like, are you just assuming kids think that? Because
Yeah.
in my honest opinion, he's just gonna do this shit again.
Yeah, homie learned nothing. He lost his ship. He's like, I mean, unless the logic... Now, maybe this goes to the Japanese one, and I don't know. Because if he sold the one Mew card to buy all the shit that he used to collect shit, maybe the whole was like, well, I got this one left. Now I sell this one to buy a new ship. And his collection starts with something else because he's gotten rid of the Mew card. I really don't No?
Yeah, I don't know. Like in the line that he says at the end doesn't help either, because you could say that line as if like you learned something.
Yeah.
He doesn't say it that way.
How it all began and how it all begins again. Yeah.
It's very ominous actually.
Yeah. So yeah, we don't know what happens. We haven't seen anything at this point. Maybe it's like we'll see. We're in the range of like 25th anniversary. Yeah?
I doubt we're seeing it again.
You never know. Diamond and Pearl remakes, Pokemon Pinball, Pokemon 2000
They
remake.
never said the man's name in the movie, like.
But now they can. And they'll fix that by making a CG version of 2000.
His name's Clarence now. They changed it.
Clarence the Third.
Clarence the Third.
It's like no one knows. No one knows his name's Lawrence.
He's a fucking janitor at the museum. Which will actually help close the gap as to why he's obsessed with collecting.
Yeah. To finish the movie off, we have Team Rocket crawling out on the shore being like, oh man, if only anyone knew that we actually helped today. It's
Breaking the
like,
fourth wall.
They did. Look. They all saw you. And they're like, oh shit.
I
that's
hate
it.
when they do that.
I remember all the kids loved that moment though in the movie. In the theaters when we watch it, all the kids loved that.
Good job.
I hate when the fourth wall gets broken on a show like that. On a movie, it's fine. But on the actual show...
Sure. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. I thought it was fine. I think because with Team Rocket, who's just the joke most of the time anyway, at least up at this point in the anime, before they become badass for a season and then go back to the joke.
Yeah.
It was, I don't know, but...
So, Melanie's the only character in any of the films to have... not only was she actually important to the film, none of the other characters in any of the other films are actually important.
Okay.
Because Ash is kind of like the hero of the story. Melanie actually was, in theory, the hero of the story.
Yeah,
And
she couldn't have done it without her playing the song.
And then she was also the only person to, or she had her own character arc in a movie.
Yeah.
Where she was like, kind of like, I don't know if I can do this. To like, being a badass in her own way. And that's never happened in any
She
of the
flew
movies.
a boat, dude.
That's never happened in any of the movies in the future.
Never been a flying boat. I'm trying to think back. It's been forever since I've seen Heroes with Bianca. I forget what. I don't think she has any like important plot to herself, but yeah. So then Team Rocket has their fun little like, oh that's good. Oh, but the boss will find out. Ooh, that's bad. And they go back and forth, and that's funny. And then the credits roll with the Power of One song. And let me see before we end the story. Fun fact: back in 2011, presidential candidate Herman Cain quoted the song while terminating his Republican campaign. So he's like, I'm going to drop out of the campaign, but I do have this one thing I felt was like really important. And apparently it's from a show called Pokémon, before the media calls me out again. And then he's like, life can be a challenge, life can seem impossible, it's never easy when so much is on the line. And then he paraphrases it, but you and I can make a difference, but you can make a difference. And yeah.
So Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, go ahead.
Followed immediately by Pokemon. You go from this very sad song to Pokemon, and it's just like one of those instances where I was like, man, the credits actually, I can feel the credits this time compared to the first movie. This is really emotional. And then Pokemon come on.
Hey, everybody, Pokemon!
Damn it! They did it again!
Granny Snubble, Van and At, make you
Not that I hate the music, not that I hate the song. It's just like
real tonal shift. Yeah.
What is your tonality? Like, what do you want people leaving the movie with?
Oh, that's whack. And that is Pokemon 2000. So, best movie, yeah?
I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hate it.
I can say because right now, and Chris, you were kind of in like it was your favorite movie. You two were distasteful about it.
It's my favorite movie for different reasons.
Yeah. I still, as much as we just sat here and shit on some of the plot holes and stuff, I'm still here like, until I continue to watch these and find one that I enjoy watching more, this is still my favorite.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm hoping. Like, I don't want to replace 2000, but I would like to gain, because I'm in this, like, I've seen every movie at least once, some significantly more times. And I feel like after Pokemon Heroes, which is movie 5, they kind of like, I remember Jirachi Wishmaker, I remember Destiny the Axis, and I like those, but maybe I just don't remember them in certain quality
Do you
moments.
remember Giratina movie?
I watched it, and I remember Shaman being a little shit, but that's like really it.
Because for me, Giratina movie beats this one easily.
Yeah?
And I think that movie was kind of weak.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh
But
boy, Giratina.
At least Giratina shows up in like 3 movies, so he has a chance to redeem himself, right?
The nice part about this movie, and I still don't feel like I'm explaining myself well enough when it comes to me talking about like the plot progression of the first movie and
Okay.
how I think it's almost a little stagnant at times. But I feel like this movie shifted towards having a heavier focus on storyline. But there's just so many things that shoot through that story. It's just like, but like, why does Ash have to specifically be the chosen one? He's not the only person who did anything in this movie. If anything, it's Melody. Melody, like, without Melody, none of this would have ever happened.
So if you remove Ash and they could have used a new character for the movie, like a unique.
Yeah.
You could have used Elaine. You could have used any fucking
Can you
character.
imagine though the whole difference, like this movie, if it was
Dragon Claw.
But Charizard, you're not a dragon type.
Dragon Claw. Because Pikachu and none of Ash's Pokemon played a role.
Yeah.
You could have used any character. You could have used literally, like, if you want to use Elaine.
What if it was Richie?
Gary, Richie.
With
It
his
wouldn't have mattered, and I think that's my problem with this movie. Is that like the plot doesn't matter because it's like, oh, Ash is the hero, so let's give him the hero. Like, let's give him plot armor.
Sure.
Compared to the first one, where like Ash wasn't the hero, he helped. Mewtwo himself was the hero of this movie. He realized he fucked up, and he's like, oh shit. So like Ash wasn't so much of a hero; he was more like a stepping stone for like Mewtwo to see his mistake. While in this one, they force Ash to be this hero because of this super vague prophecy that was brought up.
Also, the big step down when we're talking about stuff like that is that I don't know if I take away anything from this movie.
Yeah, that was
The power of one.
No, that doesn't mean shit. Also, the power one doesn't make sense because Ash had help from many. It should have been. It should have been. He basically has the one for all here because like he's getting the help from everybody. The other thing that I wanted to bring up about this movie, I forgot. I was trying to bring up a different point.
Yeah.
I was going to bring up a positive. I forgot what it was.
Sure. Think about it. I sit here and I think like as far as favorites, I still like this movie more than the first movie. When it comes to quality, I can absolutely see the argument and why I think it would go below the first movie. And we'll put that to a vote then in a minute. And I don't think we'll be in a tie, but if we would happen to bring in a fifth person, because now I realize 4 is an even number. So if we happen to ever break somewhere, like, ooh, now where's it go?
Ties are better than bringing a random person.
Yeah. But then we kind of fall somewhere on the list if it ties, and it's like, does it just match on this number?
One person can fold.
Yeah, we'll see who that is. Yeah, no, I love this movie still. Like I said, we sit here and talk about the dumb shit that happens throughout it and whatever, but yeah, I still enjoy it. I love Lugia. It's like my second favorite legendary. I feel like it just has those extra points.
I don't know what it is. It's not a positive at all.
Okay.
So the legend never said it was a Lugia. At all.
Okay.
It actually never says a Lugia. Nothing about the legend alludes that it's a Lugia. So I don't know where the fuck. I was going Clarence now.
Lawrence.
I don't know where Lawrence got his information from, but there's nothing in the legend that says anything about. They don't even say it's a Pokemon, by the way, if you read it. So I was like, where did he get that from?
I think that's just the weird plot of defining what the beast of the sea is, where it seems like half the movie it's Lugia, half the movie it's the river, or the beast of the storm.
Rainbow River also?
Yeah. So it's really weird. I feel like it's implied, like Ho-Oh, somewhere along, like when we see in the anime, like Bill's house, he has Ho-Oh, and I think he has Entei, like in runes on the wall. Where like obviously there's some lore for Ho-Oh, which has the rainbow bird or something where someone has it. So somewhere in some book there's the beast of the sea, which would define Lugia. And Lawrence has explored and collected a bunch of shit. So I guess I just put it to plot armor of he knows something that even though the legend doesn't say, get the 3 Titans, get Lugia.
But he was wrong.
But he was wrong. So
there's that, and then you have, if you grab the plot of this movie and you keep the whole grabbing the orbs and everything, you could have used Alola for this.
Yeah.
Because you have the 3 Sacred Guardians, and then like you could have slapped whatever insert water type for. Never mind. I always forget the
Tapus you're talking
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, I always forget.
I was gonna say I was like,
psychic.
am I forgetting a trio? And I was like, no.
Yeah, I forgot about Tapu Fini. I constantly forget about Tapu Fini. Never mind. I'm just.
But even if you didn't do Alola, like you could have done this in Johto with the 3 dogs. You could have done it with the Reggies in
and that's what I was going to bring in the beginning. I think I said I'll talk about it later, but you could have removed the 3 birds, which I think was a mistake for this. I love the birds, but because you're making the transition to Gen 2, it should have been the dogs.
Yeah.
Because like you're using Lugia, whose barking power was for. and then now you're gonna introduce 3 badass dogs that we have to wait to find out.
Yeah.
Find out where they are, and I think it would have been nice, especially because Suicune's ability to like purify water,
Sure.
Raiku's ability to create thunderstorms, and then Entei just exist.
I don't think the lore though, because I think
The dogs are more related to Ho-Oh.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but the dogs are related to Ho-Oh because
Yeah.
Ho-Oh revived them.
Yeah,
and
the
made them.
fan theory that
And
it
then,
was
Lugia,
Vaporeon.
and then Lugia is related
Yeah.
to the birds.
Yeah, but in the anime they kind of throw this away, or in the movies.
True, the
'Cause
anime
that's what we
throws
said
it away.
earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we said earlier. It's like the movies just grab these lures and like eat them away.
Yeah.
But
Lugia, yeet.
Yeah.
but they could have made a sequel, which was the Ho-Oh version.
Yeah,
And
you never got that.
Yeah,
Pokemon, I choose you.
Lawrence,
we get Ho-Oh.
Lawrence 3 Returns is like, all right, I found 3
No,
new
it's his evil
Titans-
brother, Clarence.
Titans to
Clarence the third.
Because as you can
Titans to
see,
collect.
as you can see, I am much evil.
Yeah,
Yes, well,
it's just Lawrence with the curly Q mustache.
And now
but he's
catch-
broke. As well.
Now catch the
everything's
beast of
created-
the sky.
Everything's created Kids Next Door style.
Yeah.
So everything's
the
like
2x4 technology.
because I mean I'm far more critical on this movie, but it's because like I like it so much because like I think the visuals in this one are amazing. I like as like a kid, like it keeps you like so like entranced.
Yeah.
And like especially like watching with my niece, like when she when stuff started happening, her eyes didn't leave the screen. So like it was nice to see like how like generational gap. She only knows Pikachu, Squirtle, but that's because me. But like when she was watching it, it was nice to see that kind of like how like that torch has been passed.
Yeah.
Because like I know like my problems with it as like an adult, I don't like prophecies, and
Okay.
this only goes to show that I really don't like them because as John said, they're vague as hell.
Yeah.
And there's like you can interpret it in many different ways. Because like especially with like the line "we turn to ash," it's like all right, so fuck everybody else. That's only the protagonist that I have to care about.
So to add to that, I also think it's lazy writing to have a prophecy, because at any given, and then so many shows have done this and movies where here's the legend. Oh, this character's not doing good. The sales are not there. The ratings are not there. Oh, we weren't talking about him. We're talking about this guy.
Else.
Right.
Yeah, Dragon Quest did it. Harry Potter did it.
Oh yeah.
A lot of shows do the whole. Oh yeah, there's one chosen one, but there's like this backup one over here, and like I don't like prophecies. And the second I saw one as an adult, as a kid I liked the movie. As an adult, I was like, I watched it because of this. If it wasn't for this, I wouldn't have watched it because that's how much I hate prophecies. But I was just adding to what you're saying.
Because like prophecies, just like they can make or break it.
Okay. It foreshadows the events of the movie,
Exactly.
essentially.
So-
like the hero's going to survive by the end. The second there's a prophecy, the hero's surviving. I can't name you a series where the hero didn't survive.
Right. And it's like coming from like that perspective, but like taking like away from that, like it was really nice to see like they were like really building up Lugia, but then like when he came and he emerged, there was like a 3-on-1, and then like he failed, and like he was like questioning, he's like, I just keep failing.
He just kept getting it back after his alarm went off. He's like, "Oh, this is my wake-up song." And,
Wait,
yeah.
he's like, let's go.
Might get a hype mix.
No, because you're not gonna, but I know you are. But it's like the best example like in wrestling. There's there's a thing called a Royal Rumble. So like the whole thing is you can win a title shot, just don't get thrown over the top rope and have both feet touch the floor. All the time, like you hear the wrestler's entrance music hit. He's like hyping. He's going like, "It's my time. It's me, baby." He runs into the ring. Gets like within 3 seconds, like he's like looking around like what to do. Gets knocked right over, and then both feet touch. He's just like, okay. But
that was nice.
But like it was nice to see like a legendary Pokemon. It's like someone like top echelon of Pokemon, a box cover art, get bought, and then like him questioning himself. I really just feel like Ash kind of just took away from that.
So a good way to fix something like that with a prophecy, it's by having the main character change the prophecy, because the prophecy is usually quote unquote set in stone. It has to happen, right? I think the best trope when you're doing something like this, I think we're all on a Yu-Gi-Oh kick here, so you guys would know. I don't know how far you are, Danny, but I recently started watching. I'm all the way to like I'm rewatching like Duel Monsters, and I just finished it completely. I'm going to GX now. But the fight with Ichisu's kind of like, she saw the future, she saw what Kaiba was going to do, which when you see a future, that's essentially a prophecy. And he changed the future. And whatever, he was able to change his destiny, and that's one of my favorite things in like anime tropes. Whenever a character's like, "You're the chosen one, you have to use the sword to kill it."
Did that better, Deku.
And fuck Deku. And I'm mad at him in the newest chapter, dude. But I think that if you have a character like, let's say Ash is like, the process like, oh yeah, the world's gonna end in 2012, right? And Ash is like, no, I'm gonna stop it, and everything points at like it ending, and then Ash breaks that prophecy. That's a better story than the actual prophecy coming true, because then it's like there's no danger. But like we know Ash, when Ash went into that water, nobody said, oh, he's gonna die. He's the fucking main character. But when you break the prophecy, you don't have to worry, because it's more about like, how is he breaking the prophecy, not, oh yeah, he's not dying. So
plus, like it's like something like if he's like he's following it to like his own to his own beat.
Yeah.
But like he was like pretty much like word for word doing exactly what it said.
Yeah.
Like when Luke Skywalker brought down the Death Star and did all of that, everything had like significance and importance because he was doing it his own way.
Yeah.
But Ash was literally like word for word following it.
Which I think it's very dangerous in like. Again, it's a kids show, so as kids, we didn't give a fuck about what. Well, we're talking about super meta right now.
We saw the big cool Pokemon on screen.
And it was just
watching
cinematic.
Watching as an adult, that was my problem, because it's like the prophecy showed up. They tell you, I was like, okay, you know, Ash falls in the water. I'm like, he's not gonna fucking die. He's unconscious. He's not gonna fucking die. And like the whole time, I was like, oh, they're flying from 10,000 feet in the air from this giant Ferris wheel. He'll be fine.
He's good.
You know, he's gonna land it.
He could have whipped out Charizard at any point and you're like, let's go.
Yeah. Or Lapras just land on it.
Or Mystic could just pull out Goldeen and like, let's go.
I think a way to fix it for me without doing like too much is the prophecy pretty much only says that the world will turn to Ash. It'll turn to Ash to do something. It doesn't necessarily state what he's going to do exactly, but what would have been neat is that if that prophecy was read to him in the beginning, because they knew that from the ceremony, Ash gets so big-headed. He's like, oh man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to save this, but he finds out throughout the movie that there's a lot of things that he can't overcome by himself.
Yes. Yep.
So, and then at that point he learns, okay, well, I have to rely on other folks to help get me to where I need to go.
You know, that's called the power of friendship. And it actually works in a
and then he finds out that the power of one is actually the power of all of us.
Becoming one.
In 2018.
How much money are in your bank accounts? We need to invest and make. We can't call it Pokemon, so we'll call it like Mokemon, right? And we need to do that. Dante, you're a fucking genius. You're gonna be the head writer. Me and Danny will animate. I don't know how to animate things, but
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Chris, you're gonna mark it.
All right. So basically what it sounds like it comes down to is that there's a lot of plot holes. The prophecy isn't our favorite thing. There's no real lesson in this movie. So aside from visual and being like, cool Pokemon are on the screen, this doesn't hold a candle to the first movie. What sounds like the group consensus.
Can I have one thing that I forgot to touch on real quick? So
we'll be like, they called Cypher Alakazam again.
So like the other thing like I don't like is like in just like storytelling in general is when they introduce something that if you like remove, the story doesn't change.
Yep.
And that's what the antagonist, and I have to use air quotes because he never felt like it, what he felt.
Why Zapdos was the true antagonist.
Explain. So you said you don't like when what? How did you say
when stories add things that like if you just like remove,
it
doesn't impact the story like whatsoever.
So you say, so if you took out Lawrence, the movie's the same.
Yeah, because
obviously you have no one going after the birds that brings them together. But I mean,
because realistically, like one of like the alternative ways to look at it, Zapdos, Moltres, and Articuno, they were going to beef at some point. They were all going to fight because the way like I always interpreted it was these three fight. Lugia shows up, stops the quarrel, and then that stops it for some time, and then it's like a cycle almost. So like it really felt like if they could have just completely like took him trying to capture them, completely moved him out of the scenario, and I feel like we could have had a better story, especially seeing how like involved like just the trio of birds can affect everything on a global level. Like it really feels like Lugia is like the the peacekeeper of the Earth to stop them from literally breaking the place that everybody is fucking living in.
It's
So-
like Rayquaza
And
compared
Elsa's
to Groudon and Kyogre.
Sure.
Same
I guess
thing
I
with-
just think like I'm not defending Lawrence. Lawrence is a shitty villain. He does like almost nothing.
Clarence is so much better.
But even if you sit and look at it, like what it seems like is the birds, even though they're all like warring in the current thing we're at, there's nothing bringing them together physically.
Right.
Nothing spawning Lugia. So until Lawrence comes in and says, "Hey Moltres, there's ice outside. Must be Articuno." Grabs one. He
Right.
Zapdos, come here a little bit, and like brings them together and starts making this trio of Titans actually fight with each other.
Right.
I think there's nothing that pushes the Lugia part of the plot along. Again, I think you could have rewritten Lawrence and made him much more intimidating and given him real purpose instead of he showed up, he caught two, he lost them, he tried to catch the big one, he fucked up again, and he picked up his Pokemon card. Like that's all he really did in this movie. And then let our heroes out of the cage so that they could save the world. Yeah, he doesn't do much, but I feel like if we stick to the plot of the movie itself, the birds don't meet, thus we don't get Lugia without Lawrence. And I don't know. You could probably do something else that encourages that. Maybe the orbs are attracting somebody or something. I don't know, but I don't think.
Let us know in the comments.
Because like especially with like the introduction of them doing like the orbs like maybe like they have to like discharge like every now and then. Or they could have added like more importance to other than like it was like brought up like as like a joke, but it's like the whole like Dragon Ball thing. Like it really felt like they were just gathering them just as something to do.
Yeah, well, when I watched, I was like, oh, it's Dragon Ball ripoff, essentially. And, I will say this: this movie and Pokemon the first movie missed this mark too, but they're the first two movies. You still doesn't feel like it's the Pokemon world. Because when you watch the newer movies, there's Pokemon everywhere.
It's not gonna feel that way though.
Yeah,
they didn't have any of that established for a long time. That's
but-
like world. That's like
Well, the next
years
one,
of world building.
Well, the next one is it's Entei and then Forever.
Yes.
Okay, so Forever.
So we have Entei and then Celebi.
Forever's the one that actually has like the characters to be talking. There'll be like a 3-second B-roll footage, and you see like two Pokemon chasing each other.
Well, like
That's
Forever
cool.
is when we start to see a lot more of we're running through town and we're seeing Pokemon in the windows. Or someone's watering their plants with Pichu on their shoulder. I don't think we get that in 3 because we get the Pokemon battle between Ash and whatever her name is.
By the way,
then we get to Entei and stuff.
One flaw that I noticed about the movies, this will be my final thought. So
Sure.
I try and close.
That was my final thought.
So I will say this: one flaw that every Pokemon movie has is that the plot is about the Pokemon. They can actually make the plot where Ash joins this like tournament for like champions or like runner-ups or whatever the fuck they want to do, and they bring back some of the iconic characters like Richie, Paul, Trip, some of these other characters. To me, that would be a lot cooler and better than all these fucking movies combined. Because being able to see Ash against like Elaine, Ash versus Paul,
The
or
other
Richie
people
versus
we've
Paul,
seen.
or any of these rivals, including
Could you imagine
gym
Richie
leaders.
Ooh.
Yeah, including some of these gym leaders, like past gym leaders and stuff like that. Like if they did like a big tournament, and I think that will be a better story. But every movie is based around this super rare
Legendary.
talks. He's surrounded by like 1 or 3 other Pokemon. Like all the stories are copy and paste of each other, all the way to the CG reanimated one. Because with that one, like it was just a remake.
Sure.
Every movie is the same thing. They're still legendary. Ash never seen them. Ash somehow either changes the heart of the legendary or just beats
Or
the
as
shit
they
out of
turn
it to
into
the
is,
point where
I have
they
the
submit.
baby, which the female character coddles, and then the big one's chasing
Yeah.
after it. Yeah, that's the plots get very similar for a
Yeah, and I think that if they did a movie where it's based on a tournament and the focus is not the Pokemon but the Pokemon trainers, I think it will sell more than all of these movies.
Yeah,
because I would rather watch Ash go against like Lieutenant Surge maybe and get that rematch of Pikachu versus Raichu now that Pikachu ran through a Luster Purge and has Electro Ball or now Electro Web now, or something like, oh, here's the rematch with Misty and Ash now, and maybe Misty, she knows Ash's team, so she's like, yeah, fuck you, buddy, Pikachu's not gonna work. I think that will make more money and it will make for an interesting like movie, and that will be a movie I'll watch on release day.
Okay.
Just because with Pokemon movies, I don't think I've ever seen a movie in release day other than the Gen 4 movies.
Yeah, I think the closest is like when they premiere on Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably the closest to premiere day.
But
I've seen any in
but
recent
yeah,
years.
for me, they can get away with doing, they can stop doing the whole. Here's like what's the newest legendary?
Zacian and Zamazenta.
Yeah, like they can do Zacian and like they can like, hey guys, we're not gonna do Zacian. We're just gonna do the same Champions Cup, but we're gonna make it a movie now.
Yeah.
And it don't matter who the other 7 people are. To me, that would be a lot more hype. You can get creative. You can show off the battling is our favorite part of the Pokemon movies, right? So I think
that's why they always open with it, because it's like, this is how we get you hype. And
Yeah.
then some movies are like, let's do a race, let's do other shit.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Ranger, we have like a circus act. It's like they
Yeah.
change, but I think when they start with a battle, those are like the cleanest openings.
Yep, and I think that's the best way to really grab Pokemon and shove it down our throats. It's give us battles, and every like tournament arcs, it don't matter what anime we're watching, whether it's Dragon Ball Z or like My Hero, Black Clover, the tournament arcs are our favorite ones.
Okay.
And that right there, for me, will be a moneymaker. If they just start doing like these different, like, here's like the Orange League tournament again, and now actually, well, fuck, I won that once, I want to go again, and that kind of stuff.
And they have more Pokemon to work with
Yep.
now, so you can easily make unique and dynamic teams.
And they can bring back old characters that caught new Pokemon, because we know that Paul went back to the Kanto region right after Gen 4. Trent went back to Johto. So we know these characters are constantly traveling. Last time we saw Brock, he had a Vulpix, right? So why don't he have like a Ninetales by now? Or like maybe his Geodude's a Golem now? So like you
Didn't
can
he give up Vulpix or something?
he probably did. I could just
I have no clue. I haven't watched like.
but
parts of it
you can
before.
accelerate some of these characters by giving them either new evolutions and stuff like that.
His
Sometimes-
ass better have a Swampert dog. Put that Marshtomp for a while.
Yeah, which fits his gimmick because he does rock type and it's
Yeah.
ground, so it's kind of.
My oh my, we had a lot to say about 2000, huh?
Yeah.
Well, tell you what, let's get ready to wrap it up. We still have to do the Pokemon poll battle for this week.
Oh, this is easy.
Yeah, so last week, if you guys recall, so each of us is going to pick one Pokemon that showed off in this movie.
Who's starting?
We will, Dante will start this week.
Fuck. Okay.
So we will sort of go Dante, Chris, Princeton, myself.
You don't have to worry.
We each pick one Pokemon. It'll go out on a Twitter poll. You guys will vote on which Pokemon's your favorite. After this week, in Pokemon Episode 3, both polls should have been out by now. You'll be able to vote it, and you'll have the results there. But right now, we don't have results. So, Dante.
All right, so I once again am going with a chaotic pick because I could pick Lugia because that's the easiest choice of this movie. I could pick Lugia
Nobody's
because that is
picking
the
Lugia.
easiest choice of this movie. I could, but because I am Team Harmony all the way. But I also picked Team Mystic for my go team because I didn't have the choice of Team Harmony. But it is not my choice, unfortunately. Articuno is my favorite, but it's not my choice. I'm going to go with the true villain, Zapdos, as my choice.
Whispered to the camera he was going to pick that.
The true villain, Zapdos, is my choice.
Arceus, damn it!
Okay, so Dante's taking. I'm going to actually write these down because I didn't write down the last one, but I'll have it in the video. So you're going with Zapdos.
Guys, you're like, oh, don't worry. Oh, look at me, I'm Dante. Don't worry.
You know what? I'm going to go with the left field. I'm going to pick the comedic relief. I'm going Slowking.
You son of a bitch.
All he wanted was pants.
You
And then when Ash is like putting the orbs on, you just see Slowking just like, what you doing? Like, he's just the
What you doing?
greatest thing
He literally
ever.
was like, hey, put the orbs on the thing. What you doing?
Bro, like Slowking to me, like that entire time, like I was like, yes, this is what I want.
Damn
I want
you,
more
fuck.
Slowking.
Is that what you were gonna pick?
Yeah.
Also, we both got cocked. Okay.
Wait. So you sniped Mewtwo from me last week, and I
Yeah.
sniped Slowking.
Yeah. Fuck.
Wow. Okay. Well, I feel like nobody gives a flying hoot about any of the Pokemon that are in this movie, other than the obvious legendaries. But I don't like picking legendaries other than Zapdos, which I was gonna pick. So I'm going to go with the best next choice, which is, as I'm going to tell you, Meow.
Said with such confidence.
Okay. I feel like after Slowking, there's one other memeable Pokemon in this movie. And I feel like it's a dangerous pick, but it might be left field enough to be like, yo, he was important to this movie.
He doesn't know.
No, I just know. The thing is, once I say it out loud, it's in the universe.
You,
Which
Say
means
3.
you built it up.
1.
You built it up.
You didn't hear the
Old
countdown?
man
Alright.
Scyther?
I'm picking Ekans. I'm picking Ekans, the water type. He's my swimming snake.
Ekans the seafarer.
Okay, so just to review, so for the next poll, we have Dante with Zapdos, Chris with Slowking, you son of a bitch, John with Meowth, and me with Ekans. I really don't like that choice. I should have picked Ekans.
Can't take it back now.
I'm hoping with this audience, you're like, ooh, that's a weird one.
Yo, the water snake.
The water snake.
Just turn anything into a meme, you'll win.
Yeah, that's kind of the logic here. I think that's about it. So, yeah. That was Pokemon 2000. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Pokemon. Gotta watch them all. Next week, we'll be watching Pokemon 3, the movie. Normally, I forgot to do it in the first episode. What I want to try and do is at the end of the episode, be like, we're watching this next. Here's where you can watch it. As far as I know, Pokemon 3 is not available on any streaming platforms. You can rent it or buy it on YouTube. I think it's like $2 or $3 if you get standard. Or you can buy the movie for like $15 or something digitally. So if you guys want to watch along with us, you can buy the movie, watch it for next week, do your homework, come prepared to talk about it in the comments or catch up with any of us in our Twitch chats after the fact, but mostly the comments. We're doing here in this, spread my video, fuckers. Damn it. As again, all their links are going to be below. You can check them out. I have the little title cards. Check out these guys on their Twitters, their Instagrams, their YouTubes, all the fun stuff. And do not forget to vote in this week's Twitter poll. That way next week as we go into Pokemon 3, we're going to have an opportunity here. And Pokemon 3's got some good contenders for this poll thing.
It does.
We got Kingdra, we got Entei.
Can we send the
You
exact same
already
spot?
know, and I go first.
You go first. You knocked my Squirtle down!
Can we send the same spots for this?
That's the plan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the plan would be to stay in the same spots. Yeah. I think that's it. Guys, thank you again so much for watching. Do not forget to drop a thumbs up, help spread the video. And if it's your first time checking out the content, be sure to do yourself a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you get notifications every time a new video comes out. And I will see you guys next time.
Don't forget to buy tickets to the gun show. Pow, pow. Keep that in.
All right.
Friendship's
Okay.
over.
All right. Sounds good.